Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. It's good to see all of you. Oh, my goodness. Starting off with the Salty Mama. Welcome back. Thank you. Women are sacred. Appreciate you very much. Northern Light. Welcome to the MFers. Darling Tammy. Thank you so much. What a beautiful way to start off not only a show, but a Monday. I am not very social. I am forcing myself to go live today. It's just been one of those past few days. You know what I mean? Where you don't feel like responding to anybody, you don't feel like talking, you just want to be left alone. But I have to go live. I have to. I have to force myself, so I am here, and I appreciate all of you being here with me. What a bunch of scumbag fuckery we have been witnessing. I am literally disgusted with it, and maybe that's why. Maybe that's why I don't feel like speaking. It's just, it's like the more you sit back and you watch everything, it's despicable. I feel like I'm being accused of what they're doing, and I'm paying the ultimate cost for it. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like we are literally witnessing an actual enterprise at work, and they are deflecting that onto me, and I am carrying the burden of it. And it literally makes me sick. It makes me angry. It makes me sick. It makes me want to scream. It makes me want to cry. It makes me want to do all the things. Hey, Sasha, thank you so much. Jammers, I appreciate you. TTT, thank you. Yeah, there is so much going on. And then you see this you know what I think's going on? I'll tell you exactly what I think's going on. And it was actually Jay that sent this to me the other day, and I said, "Jay, this is what I've been saying." And it is. It's exactly what's going on. And I listen, if I feel like I'm going to be in a place where I'm not going to be able to do this, I am just going to log it off. So I'm just going to tell you right now, because part of me feels like I just want to cry right now, and I don't even know why. I think I'm just so fucking angry. You ever get so mad you just want to cry? That's exactly how I'm feeling, because this is such disgusting bullshit that we are witnessing. But it's bullshit that is, again, taking a heavy toll. So, of course, we all saw the Nancy Grace. We all saw the photograph. We all saw all that bullshit. Let me show you this. Where'd it go? All right. Here it is. Let me put this up onto click it through my phone so I can get it up onto the tubes. Now, people are going to hear this. You're going to think this guy's crazy. He's not. He's not crazy. This is exactly what I've been saying is going on. I know people think like this is all just like a big raha moment, like, oh, that, and yeah, to a point it is, right? To a point it is. It's like, this is so fucking stupid. It's so ridiculously frivolous. It's so ridiculously transparent, but it's still so ridiculously heavy. And this is exactly what I think they're doing. Jay probably knows exactly what I'm about to play. Oh my goodness, Jay, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate that. They are doohickey, but unfortunately, some of us are going to go down with them in a way. In a way. And Rebecca, I want to thank you so much. This morning, as I was having my coffee, Rebecca sent a PayPal, and it meant a lot to me. Thank you. All right, so this is exactly what I think they're doing. Get myself together. Look, I have my Mac Miller up there. Listen closely to what this guy says. He's going to sound like he's crazy, and he's not.
That the prosecution engaged in the prosecution.
Actually, let me turn these on.
Well, my thoughts are that the prosecution engaged in a prosecution of cheat and deceit. They cheated and they engaged in deceit. They hired social media influencers who crafted media statements and narratives of what they wanted the case to be about. It was kept a secret. They used taxpayer money from a slush fund. They received $1 million budget to work this case. $1 million budget. Think about.
Do you hear what this guy's saying? Because that's exactly what we are watching. This is exactly what we are seeing before our very eyes. Exactly this. What do you think this little at-night media, at-night intelligence group, at-night news corporation, at-night private intelligence group, what do you think they are? They're a social media cleanup crew. They did it for Sylvester Stallone. They did it for Bill Cosby. And the quote of Nick the Hat, we have the power to put you in the Me Too movement, and we have the power to take you out. They know what they're doing. This is exactly what they're doing, and this guy isn't crazy. Thank you so much, Tammy. Listen to this again.
Well, my thoughts are that the prosecution engaged in a prosecution of cheat and deceit. They cheated and they engaged in deceit. They hired social media influencers who crafted media statements and narratives of what they wanted the case to be about. It was kept a secret. They used taxpayer money from a slush fund. They received $1 million budget to work this case. $1 million budget. Think about that. $1 million budget put up against a couple from the community with very little resources to defend themselves. It wasn't an equal playing field from the start.
Do you know how big social media is with today's cases? Deidre, thank you so much. Thank you. You guys are amazing. Thank you. Why does somebody need a PR man? Why does somebody need a spokesman? And again, this guy sounds like he's crazy, right? Like, yeah, okay, $1 million. What did we hear? $500,000 from a private donator in Brentwood, Tennessee.
All right.
Volunteer cures all that, does it?
No, it does not. You can't cure what they accomplished through those media firms where they put out a very effective smear campaign, a character assassinations of the Crumleys. So I'm confident that the judge is going to consider the motions carefully. The prosecution violated the discovery rules. They violated the constitutional principles of Brady versus Maryland. They had an absolute duty to produce those agreements, and those agreements could have changed the outcome of the case if those witnesses and the jurors would have known that they were under the threat of prosecution from the time they stepped into this building until they left. I'm just getting started here. So we will be in the Court of Appeals soon if necessary.
Do I think they're doing this for Seth? I do. Jay, thank you for asking. I just pinned it. I absolutely think they do. This is exactly what I think they're doing. Why else would Nancy Grace pull her interview? Why else would Nancy Grace pull that? As quickly as it went up, it came down. And they said, oh, it had to do with audio. It was the audio. There was audio issues. While the audio was shit, the audio was also already out there. So why did it really come down? Did it come down because Nancy Grace fell into a bunch of crap? Did it come down because you allowed actual manufactured drama to go up there? Justin, who's your team? Who's your team, Justin? What team are you on? Do you hear anybody else out here calling themselves a team? Do you see anybody else out here promoting and moderating and doing all the things that that quote unquote team is doing? Audio sounded just fine to me. And I know millions of people heard this already. But the audio was...
Missing boy Sebastian Rogers' dad vows
Whoever recorded this slowed it down. But the sound otherwise is pretty damn normal.
will find him. This as video enhancement.
But don't ever forget who Nancy Grace is. Nancy Grace is always going to be Nancy Grace. Hey, June. Thank you so much, Tammy. I see your eyes in your photo. I think Nancy Grace's legal department called and warned her the Proudfoots could sue and told her to take it down. I don't think people realize that the Proudfoots have the power to sue a lot of people. And all these people on this quote-unquote team that seem like they're, they're so safe and you're sitting over there all pretty while you fabricate evidence in a missing child's case because you so badly want to see the Proudfoots held accountable. Well, let me ask you this. If they were guilty, would you need to fabricate stuff to frame social media's perception of them? I'm not saying they're innocent because I don't know. Just like I said from the very beginning of all of this, we don't know these people. What I do know is only one parent ran and got themselves a spokesman. Only one parent ran and got themselves a cleanup crew. And you know what I couldn't help but notice through this interview right here? Is that Seth Rogers admitted it was his PI that set up the tip line. Is your PI always in the business of harassing people when they call? Is that what your PI does? Is that part of their job? To randomly message somebody harassing them? Do they always give out tips when people call? Who, Justin? Of course he wouldn't. Did he ever address when he unblurred a deceased teenager in the back of a vehicle? Did he ever address that? Did he ever address when he doxed a victim of rape? Did he ever address that one, Justin? Yeah, Amy, the tip line that texts me. Barbara, thank you so much. Thank you. Huh. Did he ever address any of that? Matter of fact, are they going to address this? Did any of them dare to address this? Oh. You know what happens when your team's a bunch of buffoons? They expose
like a lot
themselves.
Of work involved in this, and some people are even starting to.
Oh, looky there! Looky there! Look where the photo came from. Huh? Is anybody shocked? I'll be honest. I was shocked. I was disgusted. How many of you sat around and fabricated this photo so you could have a talking point? Right, Feisty Nana. Why does an innocent father need a fixer? Better yet, when are all the parents going to be honest? That's a great question to start off with. Put a 1 in the chat if you think all 3 parents are withholding something major. Because I'll tell you right now, they are. And I don't think any of them would be supported when it comes out. The Ruby Raven, thank you so much. We all know there's something missing here. We all know both parents, the Proudfoots and Seth Rogers. I'm just going to keep it 100 today. I don't care who likes it or not. We all know they're both playing a little PR game using YouTubers to do it. That's what they're doing. Surprise to anybody? No, I don't think so. The only difference is one hired a cleanup crew. A cleanup crew. Shauna, thank you. Thank you guys for hitting the thumbs up. This is why this filing is so dangerous, because some of these plaintiffs are willing to fabricate things in a missing child's case, let alone a court filing. Yeah. I agree. It's a huge problem. Oh my goodness, Mrs. M. Thank you so much. She tried explaining it away again this AM. Put up a poll pretty much. Do you believe me or not? It was 51% called on her BS. 51% of your audience called your BS, Betty. And let me tell you all something. This isn't nothing new from them. Indy, what I'm showing you over here is this is the photo that they went on Nancy Grace talking about, right? They're saying this is Katie and this is Chris and here's Sebastian. And they somehow got it from the light, you know, the flashlight video. Oh, thank you so much, Northern Light. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. It helps a lot, a real lot. What we're witnessing here is how they fabricated this photo. Indy, take a look over here because Betty done slipped up and she showed it. And what we see here is the photo of Katie out to eat. This is Katie at the steakhouse. What did they do? They messed with the lighting to make it this. So they could say that, what did you say, Justin? Your enhanced equipment seeks for anything moving, and it came up with this. Didn't you pull that same bullshit before, Justin, with the audio? Did the psychic lady from Canada ever get pissed that you stole her audio video and claim that it came? Do you guys know where Justin claimed that audio came from? Does anybody remember? Let me tell you. He claimed that a neighbor had a camera with audio in a bush. I swear, that's what he came up with. A bush. Oh my goodness, I'm missing all of you. Mrs. M, thank you so much. PJ Second Chance, thank you. Blissful with the 36 months. Mrs. M with the upgraded, thank you. And we Frosty. The problem is in in PA, they're not that simple. The audio came from a bush. Did you guys check your bushes lately? Make sure neighbors aren't hiding cameras in them? Any microphones in the bushes? We got over here, Mrs. M shaking our bushes here to make sure no microphones drop out, although we see you all spying. I mean, can anybody deny it at this point? Look what they did. They show you right here. They took this photo, they changed the coloring on it, and they presented it like it came from the flashlights.
Get even clearer images. Now, again,
she's going to show you how they did it here too.
Right here, unfortunately, I don't know where this has come from.
Oh, but others do. There's something wrong with you, Betty. There's something wrong with all of you. Doesn't Betty have criminal court coming up?
Coming in, and I don't want to speculate on that particular one because, in all fairness, I don't know where that one came from.
Hold on while SF goes and gets the original. Where did this photo come from? Let's find out. Quick Google search should tell you. Oh, there you go. Oh, Idaho 4. Did people really think that these buffoons finally got themselves some type of fancy equipment where they were going to find something and nothing?
It's going to be very difficult for the hate channels to dispute this.
Is it, Betty? Is it, Betty? You're so disgusting. So again, I want you to see what she did. She showed over here where they're getting these images from. And they were going to try to present to you all that this was another little image they found. But they're not too sure where it came from. But it was on Justin's fancy equipment. What was that equipment called, Justin? Put a 1 in the chat if you think Justin should be in trouble for interfering with the investigation of a missing child. Who's really interfering with the investigation here? I have never once in my entire time being on YouTube have ever faked evidence of anything. Let alone you go on a fucking program like Nancy Grace and you shout it like it's factual. Well, thanks for having me, Nancy. My team and I. You should be in trouble, Justin. You should be ashamed of yourself and you should be in trouble.
Reveal. I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us. That is the moment that Sebastian's mom and stepdad realize he's
Travis,
gone.
thank you.
You go in your child's room, but at 6 a.m., he's not there. Where is a missing autistic teen, Sebastian Rogers? Not only the search.
Not only the search, where is he? Why don't you ask his father where his father is? Where are you at, Seth? The courts are looking for you. Latest on the fake photo. Well, Stephen Fisher did tag her. I seen others tagged her all over X, and he has actually been a guest on her show before. So hopefully she has since found out about it. Do any of you really believe they took it down because of audio? To an extent, I would believe that, but I'll be shocked if it goes back up now. Hey, Jay.
Hey, G-dubs.
This is fucking nuts, dude. This is
Listen,
so gross.
I don't think it was taken down for any kind of technical or audio issues. I think that's 100% bullshit.
Do you?
I do.
Yeah.
Because why? I mean, it was already up. Like, why would they all of a sudden go, oh, there was issues, let's take it down?
Right. We already uploaded the audio, but you know what? Now we're going to take it down.
Right. And then it's going to take a week for them to
Right.
get it back out. Like, no.
And
I don't know.
what was messed up with the audio? The fact that you had an idiot that talks like one syllable a fucking minute.
My God.
See, thank you.
My team enhanced this video. It's like, shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up. You know
if
what my best
if I
part-
think any editing is going to be done, GW, I think they might edit that motherfucker out.
Oh, like poof, be gone.
Yes.
Oh,
I would
You know-
love that.
you know what my favorite part was, Jay? I'll be honest, this was my favorite part. So as you know, I threw together a video similar to what you did, but I really wanted to highlight the part where Seth makes it very clear that there was no common area in the footage, right? That the flashlight footage it didn't face, that guy's camera didn't face a common area. It faced his driveway to protect his personal cars.
The one on the corner, yeah.
Yeah. So let's hear it here.
Called the common area was in it.
Justin?
Thank you for having me, Nancy. So this was in an area, what they call the common area. Was in an area, what they call the common area.
So we heard Justin there twice say it was a common area, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure we get this clear as day, because, you know, everybody wants
Crystal
to say
clear.
about lying. Well,
I recognized the house, so I knew the angle, because the angle's coming from at the end of the street. It's not pointing at like a common section. It's just literally at the end of the street so that the owner can watch all their vehicles.
so it's not pointing at a common area. Now all of a sudden Seth Rogers doesn't know the flashlight video at all, Jay. They never explain it to him. Can you believe it? How dare they never explain it to him?
Yeah. I don't know what to make of that, but I do think that it would be great if Justin is cut out and it's put out. I would love that. And, you know, Granny, do you think it was interesting that she used his first and last name several times?
Well, no, not really, because that's what Nancy does. But what I do find interesting is how quickly these people all scream, docs, docs. And then they're on Grace and they're like, here's my full government name, my social. You know what I mean? Like, all
No
of a
one knew
sudden-
his name before that.
Right. All of a sudden, but you know
Oh.
what? Just like he docs that the victim of the hell was that guy's name? Avengers
should
of
have been.
Purpose.
She should have been embarrassed to say the host of Clutch Your Pearls YouTube.
Yeah, what kind? Yeah, I mean, gosh, it made me think though. God forbid if I was ever, and I never would be, but if I if we were to take this to the news, what they're doing with this whole Rico and all, it's like, oh, the you know what I mean. The creator of Granny's watching. My name sucks too, so I can't clown him too much for that.
Yeah, well, at least you're not asking people to, buy pearl necklaces from you.
And I don't wear makeup, but if I did, I'd probably do it a lot better than him.
Girl, that's some funeral home like mortician stuff.
Well, that's what he was, isn't it?
Yeah. Clutch your
So-
stones.
So then, of course, SF, he goes and puts out this picture to prove to everybody that there was camera footage that covered Sebastian's home that night, that they can see there was no activity at all at 3 whatever a.m., right? This is 3:06 a.m.
306, yeah.
So at first I'm like, well, why would he do this? Like, why even put this out? Because then it's kind of like, okay, so there's footage of Sebastian's home. I thought it was too dark to see anything. So, but then I realized, because I'm not an idiot like them and I don't speak before I actually research, and SF actually posted this because Betty's on this whole rant that proves that Katie's bedroom light was on. And at first I'm like, shit, it does look that way,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
I thought that too.
Yeah, like I thought, like, damn,
Until I saw this.
until I saw this. So I
Mm.
want to make sure everybody else sees this as well. So here's the action. I mean, you can see. So no, it's not the Proudfoot home light that's on. It's the porch lights from the house across the street. And ironically, what does Seth say in his video to the news when he's explaining a flashlight video that was never explained to him? That the lights are stationary, that they're on during the day and night.
Right. What is that light, though, against the shed? Where, like, the little yellow...
This one over here.
Yeah, see where, like, there's the little yellow drawing.
They have it
up top?
circled here. I don't know if it's like a reflection on whatever this is.
Yeah, maybe a reflection.
I have no idea.
That is wild, though. And until I saw that, I thought, oh my God, it was their back porch or, like, a light on.
Yeah, so what is this? Sebastian's front steps? What are we even looking at here?
Okay, so
Trying to turn the
no,
porch light from the house across the street.
no. So this is
Okay.
from the house behind them.
Okay.
So, like, imagine the house behind them and then taking a picture of the back of the Proudfoots. So, like, that's their driveway with the vehicles, I think. And then that's the house
Oh,
across
okay.
from them. Yeah.
Coming in, and
I see. So that's just basically similar to the quote unquote flashlight video. That's just a section of this. They cut this to
Yeah, I
show
don't
you
wanna-
what it looks like
Yeah.
up close. Okay.
speculate on
So
that.
where's Sebastian's house over here?
Where it's blurred. Yeah. The
Hmm.
Proudfoots probably didn't want their house shown. You know what I mean?
Right, of
That
course.
particular
It's been shown a million times, but so this is their house right here.
Yes.
Okay, I get
that's
it.
the edge of their house. Mhm.
Right. Okay, so they literally have footage facing the backyard of Sebastian's home.
Right.
The
And remember
quote unquote
JLR,
common area.
when JLR was there, he actually was on Stafford Court and he witnessed detectives leaving that house and walking straight over to the Proudfoots. So I always thought they maybe had footage.
Right.
And that's the house that's blurred out on Google now. Like
Oh
that
yeah.
house behind them.
The
yeah.
neighbor's house did get blurred out. Hey, Queen. So that's what that is. That's why. Okay.
Yep.
Very interesting.
It is. You know what
Very,
I thought
very
too? Like if you
interesting.
pull up that original one,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how like
one.
it's so dark there or whatever, but
You can see really
look
good.
at
It's
the
a good
look at the
camera.
sky and stuff. Like you can see the clouds.
Yeah, it's a really good camera.
Yeah, it is. So you got to wonder, did they have any other angles as well? You know what I mean?
Well, he said he had over 100 hours of footage. And of course, instead of these people recognizing what some of their favorite creators and the quote unquote green team did, they're screaming at SF, released 100 hours. You nosy motherfuckers think you're
Right.
entitled to everything.
So they can alter it and make it
Right.
fit their narrative. Yep.
Right. So it becomes a whataboutism. Like, oh, okay, we're going to ignore. And of course, the first person to comment under Dolly's stream where he calls them out was Warschmiegel. You old busybody
course.
bitch. Like, why don't you acknowledge the fact that the green team went on Nancy Grace and legitimately fucking lied? They lied. And you know what it brought me back to, Jay? It brought me back to little Julia Valentini, whatever her name is, put in the filing that I lied about her saying that she was worried creators were going to frame the Proudfoots. How do you feel now, Julia, to know that you, as the professional and credentialed woman you claim to be, are sitting with a team of people that literally fabricated evidence in a missing child's case? Now you sit with them. The same people you were worried about doing it, did it. They did it. At least you got something right, Julia.
She's a whole mess.
A despicable mess she is.
You know, and I was thinking about this yesterday. Like, what was she planning on doing? Like, you know what I mean? If you think about, like, what if Chris wouldn't have picked up on her being, you know, sus and he would have let her in the house?
Mm.
Where would we be all sitting now? Where would the Proudfoots be sitting?
Yeah,
You know?
right. Who knows?
Who knows what the hell they were planning on doing? You got Terry Lynn, too. You know, another thing I thought of that was sus. When Terry Lynn did her call with Chris,
Mhm.
remember she was asking him, like, oh, do you have a washer and dryer in your camper? And he
Right.
was
Where
like,
do you do your wash?
yeah, where do you do your laundry?
And
I
then
was
she
like,
found those pants. Excuse me. Then she found those pants.
yeah, and not only that, right? She's asking him, where do you do your laundry? Then her and Michaela take a little fucking trip down to Mississippi.
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't like it.
They're all fucking shady weirdos.
Mhm. They are.
So I was looking the other day because, actually, here, I pull this up. So how about this, Jay? Did you know that poor Seth was just lying because the police told him to lie?
Do what?
Seth with the flashlights. He was just saying what the police told him to say. The police told him to lie.
Oh, and say it was a trash truck?
Oh, yeah. So confidently say that it was a trash truck, right?
Right.
Because, you know, and what did the people do?
Both
when it came-
angles, you know, day and night. They showed him markings so he
Yep.
could see exactly where that angle hit, right?
He literally said they wanted to make sure that I had no doubt. So they showed me everything.
Yes.
That was literally what he said. But they claim nonetheless that, you know, oh, well, he was just lying. The police told him lie and all that. So if that is Seth Rogers, again, if that's Seth Rogers lying, is anybody a little concerned with what this man? I mean, look how confidently he lies then. He was
Right.
angry about it. He was arrogant. He was cocky. He was full of himself. And you mean to tell me that he's knowingly lying throughout this clip? Look at him here.
And then they showed me the video in the daylight too.
Mm.
I've seen some people actually sit there and talk about, well, the trash don't run at 3:15 in the morning. You're right. It runs between 5 and 5:30 in the morning.
Does that look like a man that's lying under pressure?
No.
He
He
looks
has
very
the duper's
confident.
delight in this, actually.
Right.
Right.
But the whole
Yeah.
time that I watched this, the time
The time on the clock
on the
remained.
DVR that they had stayed 3:11 for like 15 minutes.
For like 15
Okay.
minutes. I never caught that.
Look,
Hold on.
and he's like smirky about it.
Wait a minute. So they only paused for 15 minutes and then started working again?
No,
never-
no, the video was 15 minutes long, and the whole time he watched it, the time never changed.
So he only saw a 15-minute video and it stayed 3:11 the whole time.
3:11.
Okay.
Yeah. And then look at him here.
For like 15 minutes.
You know, got
Okay.
a shoulder around
So
So
it.
broke equipment.
So it was broken.
Broke equipment.
So it stayed at 3:11 for.
He's like smirky. You mean to tell me this man's lying on behalf of the police when it
It's
comes
like
to
he
his life?
likes that the broken equipment was broken.
Right. And then to top it
Weird.
off, he gets to one part where he says that he believes that it was uploaded by Nick Barris for clickbait. Now look at you today, Seth Rogers. I understood your anger as a father, saying that video was put up to misguide people and the disappearance of your son. I understood that. I felt that. Like, damn, I'd be upset too. This is going to lead people down a path that doesn't exist. Why would he do it? But now you are purposely sent with people that are doing that are taking photos from other tragedies or from your ex-wife sent out to eat at the last time you ever saw your son on footage, and you are watching them in real time manipulate the image to frame your ex-wife and her husband. Why are you purposely distracting people? Why are you okay with this? Why is he okay with it?
That's the $1 million question.
He wasn't back then. He was very upset at Nick Barris for doing that. Now he's okay with it. And for people that want to say, like, oh, well, he only said it over on Pascal's. No, he also said it over on Dolly's, which has since been removed. But he also said it here on the news. Listen very closely.
And other news outlets were reporting that there were lights seen in the backyard that were caught on camera.
Watch the Chris Watts movement there, Jay. You see it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Video. Is that true?
No. What that was a trash truck
went through, picked up trash, and when it left, of course, it went faster. It didn't have to stop to pick up trash.
So you mean to tell me he also lied on the local news?
Well, let's take a look at this really quick.
What I can tell you is with all law enforcement, with everybody that's involved, there's nothing that's been eliminated. Everything is on the table. Everything is being looked at from every possible aspect.
Everything from he got out and walked away and was outside of the search radius before we started searching to the worst. And
that's currently where we're at. I mean, it's
really trying not to go down that road because we're gonna find him.
Speculating causes problems. Assumptions.
Shit, I thought this was the part about the.
Right, I'm like,
trash
what are we
truck.
listening for?
I know. I'm sorry. I thought that was the. Oh, here it is. Here it is.
One other question I have is recently Channel 5 in Nashville, they had security footage that showed 2 flashlights the night he disappeared. Is there anything that you think about this video or?
Sure. So there's a lot of speculations about that video that are floating on the internet. Okay. And that is exactly what it is. It's speculations. Now, what it can give you an official statement on is TBI Newslink has released a statement from law enforcement, between local law enforcement, state law enforcement, some federal law enforcement, and they have analyzed that video so many times over that everything that everybody is trying to assume is a flashlight, I hate to say this, it's not. As much as we would love it to be one, it's not. I'm not going to go into details as far as where that video is shot from, but I can tell you, as the parents, we have seen the video firsthand from law enforcement. We know exactly where it was taken from, and nothing that is being assumed right now is actually true about that video, unfortunately.
Okay.
So there it is.
Right. So what is it then? Right.
Well, I think they kind of said what it was. Can you talk really quick? Because
Yeah, for sure.
I changed my headphone sound again, please.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, there we go. What they came up with, and I think there is the best solution, is a trash truck, because what they're saying is you can see the trash truck going through on the block behind. Mm-hmm. That was the whole story they came up with, and I can kind of see it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
It's possible, yeah.
Maybe that's the only evidence there is, and the police didn't want it out there, which is what I believed for the longest time. But I don't believe for 1 second that the police would come out and ask the parents to lie, to knowingly lie about it. They would ask them to say no comment, if anything, but they're not going to say come out and lie and give a whole fabricated story.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
The whole thing's freaking nuts. And the fact that, I mean, regardless of all of that, fuck the flashlight video, right? Think of it what you will. Who really gives a shit? The fact of the matter is we know without a doubt that Seth Rogers went on Nancy Grace and he lied. He bold-faced lied.
Yeah, law enforcement hasn't explained that to me.
Yeah, law enforcement didn't explain that to me.
Yeah, it's wild.
But yeah, you gave an in-depth explanation to everybody else. And then to top it off, the photo. Do you mean to tell me that Seth didn't know? And if Seth didn't know, where's his outrage? Where's your outrage at Justin, Betty, and your quote unquote team? Where's the outrage?
Wait, Clue said, I have physically talked with the guy with the camera. He too says it was broken time and date wise, and it did not face the common area at points down the street. Why is he changing his story now?
Right. Thank you, Bob H. I don't know how much it helps me, to be honest. If anything, it further proves who's interfering in the investigation for this missing child. But, don't forget, Betty also said that this injunction has nothing to do with the missing child. So, No, the police wouldn't tell them to lie. No. They might say, don't comment on it or try to refrain from speaking about this or that, but they would never say, go out there and lie with an elaborate story and to top it off with a big, huge smile, duper's delight.
But why would Seth say that? Like, why would he say law enforcement hasn't gone over that with me if they have? Like,
'Cause
what would
he's-
be his motive to lie? Just because he's a liar?
Because he's a fucking liar. I say sue me, but I can also, again, similar to your sleepy buddy over there, can stand proud and state why I personally believe you are a fucking liar. How many lies has he told? It's like endless. From Sebastian didn't wear, he didn't wear pull-ups at my house, to telling everybody, because he didn't have accidents. He didn't wear diapers. He didn't have accidents. So going up on a stream and telling everybody how when he would have accidents, I tell him, well, buddy, clean it up yourself. You know what to do.
Yeah, how about when he walked in my house, I told him, take that thing off.
Yeah, real men wear boxers.
And we lay around in our boxers and play video games.
Yeah, with matching fucking recliners. How fucking cool. Which,
Weird.
reminds me of the photo that good old T-Rev took of Seth Rogers, the real man he is, sitting in his recliner. No, keep up here, Sparks. Keep up here. Where do you get both sets of parents lied about the flashlight? Where do you get
I think they're saying because Chris said it wasn't a flashlight, it was a trash truck.
Right, because that's what they're being told it was. That's what it was. I mean, Sparks.
We don't know if they're lying. That's the thing. We don't know really what it is because we can't really tell. We know there's a light that moves, right? But
yeah,
honestly,
but we also know that the person recording it's hands moving. It's a tiny section of an entire photo.
correct.
It's like manipulation of the eyes. It's just like how Betty and them made this photo to
But you can see the ones that stay stationary when they move. There
Mhm.
are a couple that aren't stationary. Like you can tell when they move it up that they stay the same. There's definitely a light moving, but is it a headlights of the trash truck or is it someone behind those houses with a flashlight? Who knows?
I think it's the trash truck. I mean, personally, I do. I wish it was
And
a
it could be.
flashlight.
And it could be, Chris could be telling the truth. Like we wish it was someone moving around, but it was the truck.
In case anybody missed it, this photo you're seeing here is really Katie Proudfoot at the Texas Roadhouse. Here it is. And they just manipulated
Can
it.
you make that one bigger or no?
I can't, unfortunately.
So that's them sitting at the table?
Yeah, here. I can do it this way.
Oh, I
Yep.
see. The black part is what they made white, right?
Right. No, the black part is Katie. Here, I'm going to make it bigger.
Thanks, because I'm blind as a bat.
Yeah, and it's so tiny. Hold on.
So that goes to show they'll use anything. They'll use anything that's released.
They'll do anything to paint a narrative to get. What was it that do you remember what Joseph Lasniak said on the news station? The one that he's denying ever being on.
Oh yeah.
Where he said that they'll create any story to bring people to their show, but their 15 minutes are up. We've had it.
So they accidentally showed the Idaho 4. Is that what happened?
Yeah, and everybody's saying they took it from the Idaho 4, but
No.
I'm disagreeing.
No, I don't think so. I think when she showed it, didn't she show one?
It wasn't accidental. She did it on purpose. What she accidentally showed is exactly how they created this footprint looking thing, which I'm making bigger right now to show you.
Right. So it's an example of how they manipulate. I don't think
It's
that
right.
this is the Idaho 4, but they're showing how they manipulated the Idaho 4 food truck video as well.
Well, and she's basically saying, like, oh, we also found this, but I can't validate where this came from. And she shows the Idaho 4 right here. Listen. Like they're acting like Justin's equipment got this. And then look at them changing the color of it down here. They're frauds.
Yeah. That's definitely hoodie guy at the food truck with that big guy in a little coat. That's who that is.
This right now.
Why is it all red on the one side though? Like what?
Because they're messing with it.
They're fucking weird, man.
look like it's shit from the flashlight video. Listen what she says here.
Now, again, this right here, unfortunately, I don't know where this has come from.
Yes, you do.
She was going to play it like it came from the flashlight footage.
The hell?
Yes.
I mean,
There's
that's
such-
clearly the hoodie guy in the Idaho 4 video.
But she wanted to play like she didn't know.
Oh my God, I can't stand her. I cannot stand her ass.
Can't stand any of them.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yep. So
And
here's
she met, that bitch met Steve Gonsalves with Olivia. He invited her into his home. She is a piece of shit.
they don't care. They don't care about
No,
anybody.
they don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about what these people are going through. Sick.
All right,
Just
this is
sick.
for some reason this is the biggest I can make it. So if you can does this help at all? Can you see this a little bit better?
A little bit, yeah. Can
Like,
you like
this is-
point over it and tell us what it is?
Yeah, so this is Katie at the Roadhouse. This is Katie's hair. This is her black sweatshirt.
Oh, okay, I see
Here's
her.
the table. And
I
what they
see
did,
her.
and if you see, you can see right here, she shows you what they did. They literally just changed the coloring, blurred it, and they're presenting it now as if it is that break-in new evidence they found during the flashlight video. They're presenting it as if it's this.
Oh my God. Wow.
Because all they did was take this photo and manipulate the coloring and all on it to saturate. And you can see the app down here they used.
What does it say? Can you read it?
Well, no, you can just see
It's
like
blurry.
blur, all
Yeah.
those things.
Oh yeah, the editing app. What a
The
bunch of
editing app.
fucking frauds, man.
Put a 1 in the chat if you guys see what I'm saying. What do you mean? It's the Idaho. You can. All right, hold on. How? Because I'm seeing it as the Katie. She shows it right here, and she tries to move quickly
And
past
some
it.
people are even starting to get
See there, she tries to move quickly past it. Isn't this the same exact image as this? It is, yeah. And then they're showing the different saturations they use. I don't think it's the Idaho. I think they use this. It ain't the Idaho, right?
Hang on. I'm gonna show you. Okay. I don't think that's the Idaho. I think the one
of
she
course,
showed
there.
is
Yeah, I
But if
think the
you-
one she showed trying to act stupid.
right. Like, I don't know where
Because-
this came from.
Yeah, because you can see right here. If you can see it. Here's the photo they're showing everybody. Here's Katie at the Roadhouse. They just changed it.
Yeah, show my screen real quick.
Unless they overlaid it.
I think they may have overlaid it. There's the hoodie guy from Idaho from the food truck.
Right.
That's the guy they're showing. 100%.
right.
This guy's next to him. Is that what they have as red in
Oh,
that
again.
like baked thing?
What's up?
Hey, Queen.
What up, baby?
Hey, Queen.
So this is
Hi.
the photo we thought they were using. So this is where we thought they got it from. So you see the guy with the hood right there? Yeah. Here we put it. I put it together side by side. But this is the exact picture we thought they were using because she's standing there on her phone. You see where she's at with the like hole in her leg there, and the black jacket here. It's almost like they took this to the left. You see right here.
Oh,
The two
okay.
girls are standing,
The
and
two
so
girls,
we
yeah.
put it side by side so you can kind of see it because we thought they snagged this part right here and fucked with this picture over here to the left, which is why they would have his head over here, from that photo, from that. Let me get this pulled up real quick for you because
Yeah,
it
'cause
looks
to
like
me-
they overlaid the two.
Maybe they put the two together because you can see right there they have them side by side.
But why would they show the hoodie guy? Like
On
that has
this app.
nothing to do with Sebastian.
It is very weird, isn't it? And it comes straight from that did you see where it come from? The lady whose channel it came from?
Yeah, SF shows it over here. They did an image search and then it
Who
comes-
Yeah,
the-
see,
whatever.
that's Joe Vado. Joe Vado. Yeah, that's the big guy in a little coat. That's who
Yeah,
the hoodie
so-
guy's standing with. That's the big guy in a little coat that's all like blurred on the right in red. That's a guy.
But what I'm seeing here and what I'm saying is you can see right here where her mouse is
get even
Oh.
clearer.
that they literally use It looked like I mean, okay, I don't know. It looks to me like they literally used that photo, hence why they're side by side. Because they changed the coloring of it and they're like showing each other how they either way, I think we can all
Either
agree
way,
they
it's fake.
manipulated it.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're faking
So here,
other
this
cases too.
this
So
one
they
here, I'm gonna
layered.
share this with you.
Okay. Please do, because
And
I'm
see
trying to
what you
figure
think.
this out.
Okay, look and see what you think. Okay, this is the image, and there they are with the phones. Which I mean, I'm sure they could manipulate it even more than that, but that's why we thought it was from the Idaho 4. Do you see it up there now?
I do, yeah.
And so it's like she's standing there on the phone. I mean, it almost looks like they colored it, like the image. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a shadow or whatever. But it's almost like when she bent over, she turns around, she bends over to get food. And this is what it looks like. It's almost like her bent over. She's like holding her phone up to the right. See where it says Katie right there? It almost looks like she's holding her
Is
phone
that
there.
like where Kaylee's taking the picture when
That's what it
Maddie's
looks
getting
like
the
to
food?
us. That's what we thought. So we thought it came from Idaho 4. That's why we
Because
thought
I mean, I've studied this video, so I'm gonna find that part where she.
Yes, that's what we're looking for, is the part where she bends
Let
over to
me-
get. It's like she bends over to get food or something. And
yeah, I
that's
know
what
what you're. I know exactly
Like,
the part you're talking about. Let me find
yeah.
it.
So okay. So I was like, that's why we thought it came from Idaho 4, because here's their image to the left. Here's the Idaho 4 video to the right, which is the same video with that guy's hat.
I can see what you're saying. I just figured
So-
because they literally show here that they have Katie sitting at the steakhouse next to this photo.
Right.
And then you can kind of see like the bar thing, but I mean, either way, they're fucking scamming. This is a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It really is. Yeah.
I mean, it's not like they just put this out on their dinky channels and they all, kind of, and they do what they always do. They push the docket. Newest member of the team is Freedom. I hope you don't enjoy your freedom too much because you just might lose it. At least your freedom of speech because you're tampering.
Yeah, her and Little Red are the ones that put this together and obviously started pushing it out. Betty and Justin latched onto it and fucked with the image, in my opinion, again. And
unfucking believable.
Can you share my screen, Granny?
I just think this whole thing's nuts. I think if
look,
anybody,
she's gonna find that. She's gonna find that. I promise you, it looks like that. Yes, it looks just like that. Similar to where she's holding her
You want
phone
me
up.
to screenshot it and send it to you?
Yeah, because we can put it side by side, and
Yeah.
I swear to God, this is where they got the image from and started fucking with it. Matter of fact, it actually looks like that guy right there with the beard. See, it almost looks like they put his head over there.
I'm going to email this to you right now.
Oh, this is unbelievable. The biggest question is why is Seth Rogers so like intertwined with
Why
people
is he
that are
okay
doing
with all
shit like
this?
this? Right.
Yeah, why is he okay with this kind of shit?
I mean, this is everything they're accusing us of is what they're doing. They're running an enterprise. They're passing out dockets. They got their chosen team members that signed NDAs. They're financially benefiting. They're fabricating evidence. How many calls to TBI did this create? You motherfuckers talking about unwarranted calls to TBI. How many called over this photo that's non-existent?
I emailed it to you, Queen.
This is crazy.
Yeah, and then she holds her phone up and holds that like it's like in her hand or whatever to the left, like her left hand. So she holds the phone in her left hand, and then you see the.
All right, so let me pull this.
What would even give them the idea to do this?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, how fucked up do you have to be to even think to mesh these two?
No, when Betty shows it, she's like, it's like, you can't even see what she's talking. She's like, oh, it's in the dark. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is. I'm like, what? Here's what? You still don't see it.
Oh, what? Like she plays the flashlight video. And she's like, it's right there. It's right there. One of those.
Yeah, she put that. Oh, girl.
Oh, God. Are you serious?
You know what? I hope this did turn into calls to the local law enforcement so they can be aware of what Betty's doing to the Proudfoots when she was told that this family doesn't exist to her. Unbelievable.
Well, I hope the Gonsalves family tells her the same.
Oh, yeah. Maybe, gosh, that poor family.
Right. Like Queen, she had the audacity to sit in their home. with Olivia and then do this.
Yeah,
kind of
that's
shit?
what pissed me off so bad about this. I said, you took a picture from somewhere. Here's this other one too, where she gets really excited about it. And I think this is one of their people or whatever. But it's like 34 seconds long and you cannot see shit to me. I still don't see it. I still don't
look,
see it.
look at
But
Michelle
she gets
Webble.
Oh, yeah. You can clearly see.
Are you getting paid by question? Clearly see what, Michelle? Come on up and point it out to us.
Right, because look at
It's
this.
crystal
Here it
clear,
is.
guys. Come
You
on.
still don't see shit. Still don't see anything right here. She's like, look, there it is right there. There's the light. There it is. There it is. I'm like, where?
Where? The lady's shadow that's recording the video. I can see her. See
They're
her right
saying
dead
over here
smack.
to the right. To the right. There's a light to the right over here. To this tiny little right to the right. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me?
Unbelievable. These people are unbelievable. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
This reminds me so much of the shadows in the Chris Watts case.
Yes. And then, you know what I said?
God.
This reminds me of like Nicole Kessinger, where they said she
Yes.
was standing
Okay.
the tree with the ponytail and shit.
Who was the main culprit of the shadows? Who
Well,
was
they
it?
said it was AD, but it really
was
wasn't.
AD. Where's AD though? He
Right,
gone.
he's gone.
He gone.
He been gone, yeah.
It took Frankie Rusek a while, but he gone.
I mean, they manipulated that. They said, here's Nicole Kessinger holding one of the little girls, and they're like outlining all this weird shit and changing the colors. And it's the same thing these people have always done.
It's wild.
That was
to tell
my
that they're
first go
getting
around
away
with.
it, though.
Yeah, that was my first go around with like people analyzing like a case like that with video. Was the Chris Watts case with the shadows?
The shadows drove me nuts because every day was a different shadow. Oh, look, here's her ponytail. Oh, look, she's looking down. And honestly, you can convince people to see whatever you tell them to see. Like you can make something out of nothing. And that's what people were doing. And
it's so easy to do.
But they took it on Nancy.
So scary. It's scary that it's that easy to dupe people.
You're right. It's frustrating. It is infuriating. And I couldn't even fathom how the Proudfoots feel. Listen, like I said, we don't know if they're guilty or not. But if they're so confident and they have this private intelligence group that's doing all this investigative work, why do you have fucking idiots on YouTube fabricating things to make them appear guilty? Is it because you're not an intelligence group? You don't have any intelligence at all? So much so that you grabbed whatever creator you felt had the least intelligence to believe you had intelligence to try to sell their intelligence? Like what?
But the bottom line is, why, Seth Rogers, as the father of Sebastian, would you go along with this? Why would you want this happening? You know, you said that about the Proudfoots. I can't imagine like knowing this man, right? Like co-parenting with this guy. And then all of a sudden, your child goes missing and he does an about face and pays, like, literally, I don't know if he's paying people, but he's got a group, an army to smear you. I don't know how you would even comprehend that. If you were co-parenting and then all of a sudden Sebastian goes missing and then he does an about face.
Well,
a smear campaign, if you will.
I'm still trying to figure out how they got in a fight 3 days later and stopped talking because Seth started GoFundMe. But then Seth's admitting to everybody that he called Chris 2 weeks in and said, I can't watch TV. What do I do?
Yeah. Because they already got Sebastian's PlayStation back, right?
Right. And so, yeah, he called Chris crying that he couldn't watch TV. And what did Chris do? Solved his problem again and helped him out.
Well, he said, come over and pick it up. And then when he got there, he said, well, there's been some charges on here, so you're not taking it.
But he lied because what actually happened is before he even came over there to get it, Seth called him and said, I just realized, or Chris said, you know, I see on here there's charges for Minecraft. I have to hand this over to the police now. So it's not like he waited till Seth got there and said, oh, sorry.
Oh, I didn't know he handed it back over to the police.
Yep.
I always wondered if Seth wanted to take a look at that machine for some reason. I don't know. I think it's weird because he could have found many other options to watch TV. But he called Chris Proudfoot instead to get a PlayStation. I find that weird.
Well, and people are now saying that Grace and Lady Freedom are the same person.
Who?
That Grace is Gavel, who's a mod for Terry Lynn, and that Freedom lady that fabricated these images.
Oh, that's Gracie?
That they're the same people.
Oh.
And people are like, that's hysterical.
Nonsense
People are
says
messaging
not.
me.
They're not the same.
Huh?
She said they're not the same. Nonsense.
How do you know they're not?
Gracie was on a panel, she said.
And spoke. They're all disgraceful. They're all disgraceful. They're all doing this for a reason. And I think it's I think it surpasses just YouTube clicks and views. I think these people, and this is really where it gets absolutely concerning. I think these people so badly, excuse me, want Chris and Katie to be guilty that they will go to any manipulative mile they can to make that happen. So when Julia said she was worried about them playing evidence months back, and she was worried about that months back, and here we are now, they're fabricating this type of shit, and the disappearance of Sebastian, how far are they willing to go? Are they willing to go far enough to make the kid disappear just to frame them? I mean, who the fuck knows at this point? Maybe they're busy trying to fix their ridiculous filings that couldn't even get through the docket. You know, I heard Brittany had a question the other day. What kind of attorney would tell Grady to go online and continue harassing the person she's in litigation with? What kind of attorney? No, right, Angela. Attorneys would tell you to shut up. Brittany, it doesn't matter what I say on here. First off, an attorney who's confident in himself and in our legal plan, that's what it was, would tell people their strategy. Brittany, we wouldn't need a strategy to beat this. Let's just put that forefront. No strategy needed. Secondly, I'm pretty confident we could write it out in Crown, choose your color, and you still wouldn't comprehend it. You should be more worried about what kind of lawyer can't get dockets to go through. That's what I'd be more worried about. My throat keeps itching. She looks like Uncle Taco. That's a shame. Somebody said Lady Freedom looks like Uncle Taco. That was Seth that said that, yeah.
Well, ladies, I'm going to jump down. I just wanted to pop up and let you know that that's what we found last night. I didn't know if you guys had seen it or if you had a chance to watch the live from last night, but I laid it all out there. So
thank you. I'll have to take a look because this is bullshit. This is
We
absolutely
put the messages out there too. The text messages. There's messages and shit too.
About this image.
Sorry, not text. There's comments. I couldn't open them all up because I wasn't there, but there was a community post made. And Lady Freebird was like, "Hey, I took Little Red's. I think that's her name, ain't it? What's her name?
No, that's a good enough name, though. I like it.
Okay, well, fuck, I thought that was her, but anyhow, she made a community tab and said, "Little Red 555 whatever asked me to take this down because she has integrity." Integrity, my ass.
Integrity.
The damage is done.
Right. Oh, take it down. I have integrity.
Yeah.
You're on Justin's quote unquote team.
In the comments, she's like, "Me and my team found this and put this together, and then Betty and her team and Justin did this, and we didn't even talk before the Nancy Grace interview." And I mean, just it's weird as fuck. Like it's.
Their integrity, though, it finally kicked in, Queen, after they fabricated all of this and ran with it to Nancy Grace and integrity.
Yeah,
I love integrity.
I'm gonna say, matter of fact, I'm gonna email them all over to you.
Queen, do you think that Justin had integrity when he unblurred a teenager's deceased body in the back of a car?
You know what? I was wondering if that's what that meant.
If that's what integrity was, well,
That's
I'll
what
be
integrity
damned.
means. Okay, well, yeah, and just like you know, when he, I wonder, you know, how his integrity was when he doxed the living fuck out of an SA victim of AWP.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Was
and
that
her social security number out there, her name, her birthday, her address, all her information, and then left it up for probably 24 hours, and before he finally took it down after he got cussed out.
And you know what was ironic about that? He made a statement that, well, they should have blocked all that when he FOIA requested it. Aren't these the same group of frauds that are running around saying that Seth Rogers was doxxed in a similar format, despite he was not?
Yeah.
Huh. Maybe you could have just blamed it on the FOIA people. Again, his social was never shown. But if it had been, could have just said, well, the FOIA people should have blocked it out, not me. Justin acted like he didn't realize it was on there.
Right, girl.
Fucking integrity. Between the four of them, they couldn't even spell it, let alone afford it.
And during that, you know, he left that up for 14 hours, and we were all going in his live while he had it up. Everybody was saying, you're doxing her, you're doxing her. And he didn't care.
Dolly told him all your skeletons are about to be dropped out of the closet now.
Is Jay still up here?
She is.
Did she hear me?
She stepped away for a moment, though. She
Okay. When she comes back, I've got a question. And the only reason why I hopped up is because y'all were talking about Taco and the gaming. And when I was replaying her live from yesterday, I picked up something that I thought was just super odd. Just that, you know how things will just kind of go over and you just don't pay attention, but when you re-listen, you're like, what?
Yeah,
Right.
when you listen back, yeah.
Look, someone told Brittany the cat's out of the bag. Did she kick it back in?
For real.
What was it? Drop kick back in the bag. Oh yeah. Okay, and check this out. You guys listen. I forgot about this. Good reminder, man. Who just said that in the chat? Whoever just said that, JR. Good reminder, man. Look, Terry Lynn, girl, come back to these little red and this Freedom Birds. They're fucking Terry Lynn's mods.
Yeah,
allegedly.
They are.
What?
Yes.
Bitch, I said, you little fucking shit starters, you.
Is that
I still want to know. I still want to know why Turd Lynn. Why can't Turd Lynn go to Sumner County? Remember when she saw the pants? She said she wouldn't deal with Sumner County. She had to go to Davidson County.
Yeah.
Why won't you have any dealings with Sumner County, girl?
Well, she said because she didn't trust them. But
but why don't you? There's a reason why.
What makes me even more why did she recently come out and start like backstepping everything she ever said and offering like pity towards the Proudfoots and admitted that she was wrong about things? Did she know that they were like mustering this up and she actually had some integrity kick in and didn't want to be part of it?
I don't know. Somehow her NDA was leaked.
Mm-hmm. Yo, I'm a real useful idiot, okay? I'm not even gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a useful idiot. One of those people call useful idiots. Every time somebody shows something on the damn screen, I swear to God I see it. Drew said he thought it was the guy that looked like the dude with the sniper the other day. I saw it. I saw Chris Katie. I saw what y'all just showed. Why is my eyes doing this to me?
I think it's your mind playing tricks on you because they're telling you what you see. They're telling you what you see, and you're like, you know. I mean, it's like a mind. It's like a mind fuck.
You know, when you go to a psychiatrist, they'll show like shadows, and they'll ask you what you see out of the images. Some people see a butterfly, and things like that. Yeah. I would love to see what these people fucking see. They'll be like, I see somebody being stabbed. I see drownings. I see Skid Row.
Well, that shit on Chris White, I absolutely thought I saw that shit too. And now y'all got my mind blown. Like, y'all, this is crazy.
This is what they do, though.
Don't look.
I just don't care.
We're gonna have to start covering your eyes, Alabama mama. We're gonna have to start covering your eyes.
Yeah. Keep me over here on the dark side, because if that's the light side, I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, who would think of this shit?
Right, I've just jumped up here really, really quickly just to go over something. You know where Betty's saying that image has come from?
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking into it. We were talking about it on Discord earlier.
Uh-huh.
And that black vehicle, I think, is either an F-150. I think it's an F-150, but it could be an F-250. They're 78 inches high or 6'7". That little blob where she's saying the light is coming from would be less than 2 foot long. So how is the two bodies and two people and a body being carried in that image?
Well, they're special. I
Exactly.
mean, they'll just make up anything. It's truly despicable.
And I think, Rowena, didn't you say that you thought it was a reflective light or something? It looks like someone's truck lights comes on or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's no way on this earth that there could be people in that little dot that she's trying to say that it is. Not with the height of that truck.
I remember that, Kels. Here's the thing, though, right? There is confirmation bias in it, and that's why people see what they're being told to see. But there's also this lack of. If I was one of these subscribers that like fully believe these creators, if I fully supported them, you people should be fucking insulted. They are playing an old school trick on you, where if so many people repeat it, you'll believe it, and they are literally selling you all a bunch of nothing, and you're slurping it up, because even in videos where this is being exposed for what it is, they're still coming back and saying you're lying, you're being paid, you're here to distract, how can't, like that person came in, how can't you see it, it's crystal clear. Like they're so far gone, they're so far fucking gaslit that they believe what they're seeing despite the absolute proof, Betty's own file showing you that they manipulated it.
But I also think, Granny, that sometimes like-minded people that absolutely think the worst and have to have a monster sit together.
I agree with that.
No, But anyway, I'm gonna say this, so maybe Jay can go back and listen. But and then I gotta hop down. But yesterday on Jay, she had her son on there. Oh my God, what an incredible man! He was so
Yeah, he
great.
was
Anyway,
cute.
and I was listening on replay, and so she was showing him an interview that she did with Uncle Taco, right? And so she's asking, she said, did you play with Sebastian? Did you play with Seth? All the things. And then she said, he said, well, he was pretty good at it or something like that. And then she said, this is Uncle Taco. I don't know why this struck me as weird, but he said, people, I guess they game or whatever they were talking about, but to get away from reality. He said, it's like, Twitter and Instagram and Pornhub. What?
He said Pornhub?
Yep. Sure did. Go back and listen to it. And
Uncle
I've heard
Pickle Ass, who plays with all the kids.
all the
He
kids
said
call
that
him
he
Uncle
plays with all the
Taco.
kids.
Yep. He said, well, people need to escape. They go to Instagram and Twitter. I know he said Instagram. I don't know whatever other things. And then the last thing he said is Pornhub. And am I just being weird, or is that weird?
No, that's
That's
weird.
disgusting.
That's weird. Like
But
most
go back and
people.
look. Go back and look at Jay's yesterday, and you'll see when she puts it on the screen when they start reviewing it. And then there was some confusion about, because her son was like, why are you talking on the video? But they were reviewing her video. So that's why. Go right past that and you'll hear it. Why do you have to escape from the world to go to Pornhub? I don't know. I don't know. Y'all
Yeah,
heard
it's
it too?
interesting.
Okay.
He's
But do y'all
creepy.
think that's weird as, you leave reality to go to Pornhub? Okay. All right. Tell me y'all aren't weirdos, man. Tell me.
It sounds like a porn addiction.
Like most
But
people just don't admit that. They would say, I like to, we like to go to the PlayStation or go on YouTube or, just escape the real world. They don't say
right.
like, oh, we like to go to OnlyFans and Pornhub, and you
Right.
usually don't fucking say those things.
Right.
Well,
And
Such
some
a
people having sex
creeper.
doesn't impress me.
that's Sean's bestie. So there you go. But anyway, but ask Jay to go back and look at that.
Yeah, I will.
And y'all go back and look at it. I got to hop down. But yeah, when y'all started talking about the gaming system and Uncle Taco, I was like, oh gosh, let me get up there and ask this while Jay's up here. But I think she's busy looking at that video trying to find that. But yeah, it's just weird to
Yeah,
me.
thank you. That's insane. That's disgusting.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm gotta hop down. I'm not going to escape to Pornhub, but to my real life. So y'all have a good day.
You as well. Thank you.
Bye, Roro. I know I got to do the same, baby, but I just wanted to pop up and let you know. I'll try to shoot over an email with messages and stuff in it, and you can show
I
them if you want
appreciate
to
that.
or whatever, you know.
Thank you
don't
so
have to go
much.
through that because it's like a 4-hour fucking live from last night. So to make it a little quicker, you can, and then once you go through them, you'll see what I'm talking about. You can show them if you want, and if you don't, that's fine too. You know.
You think the police are aware of this?
I believe so, but you know what I mean? I mean, I'm sure they've been called.
Oh, yeah. Thank you for coming up. I really appreciate
Absolutely,
it. This
buddy.
is fucking wild, man. This
Wild
is
as hell. I
despicable.
couldn't believe they tried to pull this shit. I said, this is almost as bad as the audio that you guys tried to do in the Idaho 4 when you guys started that screaming shit when they stole that video from old girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So Nick
And then
them out, man.
and then they did that here too, Queen. They did the audio thing, and it was actually that Canadian terror reader that found it. But then Justin claimed he got it, and he claimed it came from a fucking microphone that was in a bush.
Oh my God.
And these people believed it. And that's where they're claiming, and they claimed it was attached to the flashlight video. And then when everybody said, well, no, it couldn't be, then he switched it up again. And then, it ended up being a bush in the neighbors.
Well, you know, on Kodo has a clip on her channel of him. He's like, I got the producer on the phone right now, and he said it's tech issues. That's why they took the Nancy Grace interview down.
I did watch that the other day.
I was like, yeah, fucking right, but okay.
Right, but it should be up sometime next week. Yeah, maybe you'll be finished a sentence by then too.
Yeah,
fucking unbelievable. They had
that's
the audio.
you know what, though? That's my biggest concern. Not even that the police know, is that now they've put this out there on Nancy Grace, and who knows how many people fucking listen to it. And I genuinely fear for Chris and Katie because I feel like they're forming a hate mob. In my opinion, they're forming a hate mob against them, and it's getting scary to a point.
That's what I was just saying. Like, they're looking for like some vigilante justice, because at this point, like, if they're willing to go this far to frame them, what else are they willing to do? Is fucking concerning.
Yeah. And I mean, they're not just, you know what I'm saying? It's not just some little shit. They're saying they murdered their child.
And they're going national with it and coming up like my team and this new enhancement and da-da-da. Like, they're taking it to the highest level you can to spread the message as far as you can. And they do good, because I'll tell you what, like I said, immediately you had War Schmiegel over there cursing out Dolly. All of a sudden, Dolly's no good. He was green team 2 days ago, but because he called this out, you know how that goes. And then her mods are now making all these videos about Dolly and SF. They're the fucking hate mob. They're the enterprise. Shit pisses me off. But thank you, I appreciate you coming up.
Yeah, baby. I'll like I said, I'm gonna throw these emails over your way too, and then you decide what you want to do with them.
I appreciate it.
All right, bye. We'll talk to you guys later.
All right, bye.
I'm gonna hop down.
Who's up here? I can't see anybody.
Thank you, Petty.
I'm up here, Jay. Hiya.
Petty? Hi, Petty.
Hiya, you're right.
How can't you see, girl?
Well, now I can. I couldn't see who was on panel. Alabama, hey.
Hey, Jay.
Sorry, I was away from the computer.
Your son you have raised some good kids. That's all I got to say.
Thanks. You guys were so sweet to him. Thank you so much.
Right, I'm hopping down. I just wanted to let you know about that truck, the height of the truck, and then the height of the little blob that's just trying to get away with saying that there's 3 people in.
Yeah, it must be the fire ants. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no worries. I'll see you later. Bye, Jay.
Bye,
Thanks for having me up, Gunnar.
Bye, Petty.
Well, Karma is a cat, so I don't know if they're necessarily from Idaho 4. What we know without a doubt is that Betty accidentally showed that they manipulated the images. She did it right here. You can see it right here. And then she goes up to bring up the Idaho 4 as if she was going to throw this into some footage they received. And then says, but I can't validate where this one came from. So others did. It came from Idaho 4. It just goes to show that they were testing the waters, if you will. Like, oh, that last blurb is sold. Everybody bought it.
Yeah, how far can we go?
Right. Now let's see if we can get this one through. Let's see if anybody figures this one out. But when she was doing this, she made the mistake of showing over here the photo of Katie out to eat, and then the manipulated photo next to it.
Right. If we could only
Right
see
here.
that entire folder, it's probably full of all manipulated photos.
Well, we will when they're deposed via Pennsylvania courts. You fucking
Bing bong.
shysters.
But my question is, y'all, why would Seth be trying to frame Chris and Katie if he really doesn't know if his kid ran away like that? That
Right?
really makes me wonder if he is guilty, because you would only frame people for harming a kid if if you was involved, in my opinion. I hate to say it like that, but I do think that that is so weird. If I didn't know where my kid was, I would not be trying to paint this picture to make these other people like lying, so much deceiving.
Well, here's the thing, right? So if people believe this, they believe this is an image of Katie and Chris carrying out Sebastian, then we have to believe, they want you to believe that Sebastian's no longer here. So they need to stop, okay? Either you believe Chris and Katie unalive Sebastian or he's still with us. The fact that their audience doesn't even pick up on that much concerns me. Do you guys believe Sebastian's alive or do you not? Which storyline are you going with today? Is he with the cartel? Is he in Canada? Is he in Idaho? Is he in Hawaii? Where is he? Is he in Delco? Did Dog ever come to Delco? I thought Sebastian was here about a month ago. Dog never showed up. Hell, did they even land foot in Tennessee yet?
And then they, we heard on there about them pretty much stalking that little boy at that motel. Like, what the hell is going on with these people?
Yeah, well, I don't know if anybody figured it out yet, but Seth Rogers' PI is that lady. Fuck's her name, Jay?
Oh, shit. Now I can't remember.
I'm gonna have to dig back.
I think I have it pulled up on my phone.
I know I have
still
something.
Renee at Still Watch Investigations.
Isn't she like a team member with Heather though? Like, aren't they like?
She was.
Isn't that weird too?
Yes, I think
Like,
it is.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like that Seth is really, really suspicious to me now for sure, because I just can't understand. I just can't grasp if my child was missing. We heard Tony go on Justin's panel and tell pretty much Stephen that he was wasting his time searching because the kid had been gone.
She just cut out.
Uh-oh.
Sorry, I got a call. He said, he was missing for 10 months and it was a waste of time to be searching. I would never allow my PR person to tell people not to search for my kid that's not been found. That's weird. And then,
he did, though, himself. Remember, to Trevor Lee, you do not have my permission to search for my son. Like, who does that?
It's so weird. It is so crazy to me.
Well, that's what all his cease and desist said. They didn't say, don't just speak on me. Don't speak on me, Seth Rogers. His cease and desist said, don't speak on the disappearance of my child. Don't mention Sebastian Rogers. And if you find anything pertaining to his disappearance, like, it was weird. It was weirdly worded. And they were all locals that were in Tennessee.
I don't know what is going on, but I do know this. The police department cannot just keep sitting on their hands. They need to come out and address this picture, because like I just said, if I'm a useful idiot and I do not believe that Seth is innocent by no means, there is so many other people out there that saw that same video, that same footage, and they believe it too. And that is dangerous.
Yep. It is dangerous. Everything they're doing is dangerous. It's interfering with the investigation of a missing child, for fuck's sake. And to an extent, it's like, where the fuck is Sumner County? At what point do they find this to be damning enough that they have to intercept?
The thing is, like, we've seen this kind of shit in, like, celebrity cases and stuff. Like with Johnny Depp, he had like the best PR team putting out all these positive things about him. That's why everybody was on his side, right? Because he paid big bucks. He had more money than she did for a better PR team. But that's like celebrity bullshit. I've never seen this in a missing kid case. That's what blows my mind. Like, why do you need a PR team to spread a narrative about you unless you fucking did something that you're covering it up? And I'm with Alabama. Like, I don't get any other reason why.
Well, and he's not just having a cleanup crew to spread a narrative against the Proudfoots. He's also having that cleanup crew try to silence any opposing voices as well.
Mm-hmm.
So not only do they want everything bad about the Proudfoots out there, and they praise it, and they all get rewarded by, getting on these special shows, and, Justin got his moment in the spotlight. He got to go on Nancy Grace, and they all get their little payoff that way.
Yeah.
But they're also trying to silence anybody who doesn't peddle their theories, who doesn't speak
Right.
high of them.
Right. And it's going that extra mile to do that is wild. Like, the suit against you is just above and beyond anything. You know what I mean? If anything, it points more fingers at Seth, in my opinion.
Right.
It does mine
because
too.
if you're accusing me of calling you the P word, which I never did, well, now we're going to dig into why people feel that way. So, if anything, that they're just going to expose more things, which is why I think they're letting it die on the vine. They're how late into their filing? It was due on the 9th and the 12th. We're now on February 3rd, and it's still not submitted. There's a reason why they're staying away from that litigation. And Brittany over there still thinks she has a chance in hell. Girl, and I don't want your fucking house, okay? I don't want it.
I would level
know.
that thing if I was to, win it.
Just take the property.
Oh, just level the bitch.
You know you want all those flies.
Level the bitch and sell the lot. Done.
I'll give it to the poor gentleman's family that lost his life out front of it so they can have an actual memorial that won't be interrupted by a raging lunatic with a gun.
I just want to say Steve and the Goncalves family have a lot on their plate right now. I don't suggest anyone reach out to them about Betty showing this picture.
Well, we don't even know without a doubt that that's what that picture's from.
Well, I'm just saying there's talk of I wish Steve Goncalves knew, whatever. I just don't, I think that they have a lot on their plate, man, with this trial and stuff.
Yeah, I agree. Purple Dragon's asking, why don't you email her? Ask him what type of microphone you use.
Can I give it? Oh yeah, email me. I'll put my email in the chat.
Or if you know your mic, you want to put it in the chat.
It's a Shure mic, but I'll send you the link to the one on the one I have because there's different ones. But yeah, I'll do that.
I think that the thing that is hardest for me to understand is because I'm very empathetic. I have a very I'm very sensitive. I take on other people's emotions and make them mine a lot of times. I just don't understand how this world is so cruel, evil, and how people can come up with this shit that they do. This is just awful. Why would you try to come up and make that image like that? Who would fucking think that way? What brain and what evil
I can't
person?
put my damn email in
the type of woman that ends up with 4 restraining orders against her, the type of man that unblurs a deceased 16-year-old child, type of man that doxes the victim of rape. We're just going to call it what it is. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. By a relative as a child. The type of woman that stands out front of a deceased child's home with a bullhorn. How about when they went outside of Child Protective Services and they were screaming there over Summer Wells? You don't think there's scared kids inside that building right now? They're disgraceful people. These are people that have always done shit like this. Just like Justin with his little audio bullshit. It came from a neighbor's bush. A fucking microphone in a neighbor's bush. And everybody's like, oh yeah, fucking idiots.
Why do they choose true crime to do this evil shit? You know what I'm saying? That is just so monstrous to me. These people and these victims are already in a place where they don't need no more bullshit. They don't need any more pain. And for somebody just to not understand what they're going through and to not give a shit and to continue to make it worse is just, I just can't comprehend it. I just don't understand how people can be so fucking cruel.
Well, I suppose welcome to the world.
I know.
It's what they do.
I know. And I raise kids and I'm trying to tell them all the time, this world is evil. But sometimes it's even hard for me to grasp because I'm not that person. I just can't comprehend that thought process. That's the God honest truth. I just can't comprehend it.
Are you knocking on your mic?
I lost my sound. Can you hear me?
I mean, yeah, you just woke us all the fuck up. The hell, you couldn't say hello? You had to fucking knock at the mic like that, like the fucking police? She's knocking at the mic like the police were at my fucking computer. Had me jumping back. I'm a fucking felon, bitch. I can't handle knocks like that. Can you watch yourself next time? A simple hello would have
I was like, hello.
Jesus Christ.
You hear me.
And waking everybody awake now? Fucking police are at their computers. Holy shit.
Everybody wake up.
Ooh, she got us there. I thought BJ face planted again. Oh my God.
Well, what I was gonna say, Alabama, you said, why do they do this in a missing kids case? And I was trying to say they do it because that's where you can grasp, pull on heartstrings and gather the most views and money, right? Because like people, they feel there's nothing that gets to people's hearts like a missing kid, right? Especially a missing kid with autism. I mean,
Yep.
people just melt over it and they will. I mean, look at how they melted over Seth, even with the truth about him, like his own words in their face.
I know.
They still don't sway.
They're like, leave this poor father alone.
It's wild. Like, I've
It
never
is.
seen anything like it.
Well, and remember what I said to you before, Jay? I said, I wonder if this is a huge campaign to work on public perception. So when or if, okay, Seth is ever arrested for Sebastian's disappearance, majority of the public sees him as this big teddy bear of a wonderful father who would never. And then
Right.
there's outrage. I mean, there's some reason why this guy, I couldn't believe it. On Nancy Grace, when she said to Tony Mathis, how has Seth been doing? And Tony's like, well, there's some good YouTubers and there's some really bad. Like,
Wait a minute.
YouTube's all these people fucking care about. It's bizarre as shit to me. It's like, you got a missing child in the real world. Why do you give a fuck what YouTube is saying?
Wait a
It's
minute.
weird.
Granny, put my screen on. Is that the girl from that channel?
I don't know. I never seen her.
Y'all, is that lady, the one that looks like Taco's niece? Is that her?
Is that Freedom Bird?
Freedom Bird?
It does look like
Melissa
her.
says 100%, but I never seen her. Somebody said, oh my God, yes. Then we got no, yes, no. Here we go. No. Looks like it. Yup. Nope. No.
I told y'all can't
Jay
show
didn't
me
even-
images.
Look,
She
I
didn't
wasn't
even
doing
have
this
to
for
boil
that
hat
purpose.
first.
I just opened up X because someone said SF posted, so I was going to look, and this was there, and I was like, "Who is that girl?" And I just noticed it. That's all.
Because I absolutely see it.
I do too. Okay, do you want me to pull it up, Granny?
What are you
I'll
pulling
stop
up?
sharing if you don't want me. I guess Steve posted. I don't know.
I already showed this.
Oh, someone said he posted. I thought he had a new one.
Oh,
I was just going to
no.
check it out, and then I saw that girl. I was like, "Whoa, is that her?"
Rowena said something about when you were playing Taco the other day. He said people like to escape reality through, whatever game in YouTube. And then he said Pornhub.
Yeah, he did. I played it last night.
Uncle Pickle ass?
That was when I was interviewing him. Yeah, he said it to me. It was my interview.
Fucking creepy. Why is there like always this sexual fucking undertone?
He was like, people go into video games to escape. Whatever it is, like he was saying, everybody has their own escape, whether it's, Facebook, YouTube, Pornhub. I'm like, okay.
Just all nonchalant, like
All nonchalant.
Pornhub.
Like that's a regular, bookmark. Like everybody has that bookmark.
Did you see someone comment on BJ's latest community post that, by the way, Sumner County is very interested in her and certain Sebastian's case? No, but I don't even look at her shit.
Who?
All that does is bring people over to look at her shit. Anybody can write that. That doesn't mean anything. People have said the same shit to me. Like, oh, by the way, you're going to jail for 20 years. The FBI's watching you. You know what I mean?
Average channels that go live get well over 2K. I don't believe that. I think it depends on the topic.
The
For
chrono
sure.
channels or
For sure.
average channel that go live get well over 2K. I disagree with that.
I can go
too.
live with Sebastian and get
I didn't realize I
1,500
highlighted it.
people. And if I pick a rando case that I just find interesting, I'll have 100.
Right. Yeah, it's just not true. That's simply not true. Plus,
No,
I know
it's not.
people with millions of subscribers that go live and they're lucky if they get 100 people in there.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it. It doesn't matter how many subs you have. You can have 500 subs, go live on a topic that's hot and get a lot of people.
Yeah. It was Steph that said that. You're not asking the right questions.
I
Yeah.
don't know what the questions are. Like, what is the right question? Like, where are you, Seth? Where's your homestead? Like the other day, for instance, I was in Jennifer Coffin Bitch's live chat, and the whole green team accused me of fucking planting evidence on the homestead that I don't even know where the fuck it is. I don't even know if it's a real place or not.
The
I'm like,
homestead.
The homestead.
all I said is y'all need to maybe he's hiding out there. I mean, everybody else's places has been searched. Maybe we should find out where this homestead is. And they was like, "What are you trying to tell us that you planted evidence there?" And then they blocked me, so I couldn't even defend myself. It's like, this is crazy shit right here, bitch. I don't even know these people.
None of
That's
us
what they
do.
always go to. They always go
Mhm.
immediately to that. Like, oh, you know, you're being paid, you're involved.
And each girl said homestead ... He rents.
He rents.
Maybe that's where it is.
Oh, can I clear up some misinformation that was put out about Robin Rogers? So I got confirmation that when Robin Rogers sold her house in January, she didn't turn around and buy acreage. She turned around and downsized her home and moved closer to her daughter because her health isn't good. So there's a lot of fucking shit out there on everybody that's been talked about in this case. But like for people that said she bought a homestead and like that's even a thing, it's not. It's not. And to hear that his mother's having health issues, that's probably why she hasn't been back. I think we need to go easy, man, because from my perspective, I didn't see Robin and Seth as like fucking, thick as thieves. You know what I mean? I didn't get that perception when we saw them at the vigil that they were thick as thieves and she's going to take Sebastian for him. I just think that that's unfair. Maybe I'm saying this on Granny's panel isn't right, but I found out that she downsized and has health issues. So I just wanted to share that.
Well, it's even more reason why Seth should be visiting her then, though. Like,
well, I agree. And again,
I don't have any
how
empathy
close
for
are they? You know what I mean?
I don't. Well, she's close enough that she said Sebastian admitted to her that he was being abused, and she didn't say a word. So
true, but we also know that she was being fed all of her information by Seth. We have to keep that in mind.
Right, even if she was being fed information by Seth, that doesn't equate to her suddenly saying, "Yes, Sebastian confided in me, but I kept it a secret because I knew if I said something that his daddy would go to jail and lose his mind." You know what I mean? Like I will never make any justification.
I just think she was manipulated. I think that Seth has been a manipulator
her
his
and her
whole life.
manipulation. Well, where did he learn it from?
I don't know. I'd love to
no
know.
No empathy whatsoever for a woman, let alone a grandmother, to admit that she knew her grandchild was being abused and she didn't speak up. I have none for her. None. Not even this much empathy for her, nor do I have any empathy for a woman that raised somebody like him. Maybe now that's just me being fucking ignorant. I'll admit to that, but fuck that. The fact that she's going to sit there and tell people he confided in me that he was being abused, and I promised not to say anything because I knew that Seth would, lose his mind, and she was more worried about fucking Seth and his grown ass not being able to contain himself and be a fucking adult than she was a child who allegedly, supposedly confided in her the abuse he was enduring, but she cared more about her overgrown, goofy ass son, which is why he's who he is today. Zero empathy. If you guys don't fucking think I know that Clue texted me, how many of you are going to tell me?
What?
Everybody's like telling me Clue texted you. I know, it's on the screen.
Take a deep breath, Gran.
I can't stand anybody who's going to sit there and
I have no empathy. I just wanted to clear up that she didn't buy a fucking homestead. Okay.
Well, you probably couldn't afford one. And the last place, she burnt down. So I am over it, Cheesy. I am. Because of baby back bitches like him.
I'm sorry I mentioned it.
And I'm sorry for yelling about you guys blowing me up that I was texted. But of course, if I'm seeing yours, I'm seeing
now
hers.
We're all good. Now we're all good.
Granny,
anyway, here's the two siblings. What do you think? I know. Well, she got my heartbeat going when she's knocking like the popo at the fucking computer mic.
Jesus, I can't do nothing right today.
Sorry, I'm on edge.
I see
Not
it.
you, it's me. I promise.
I told y'all. Now I see that too, y'all. I see it. I see that they're siblings.
Well, this one is actually very seriously, remotely, uncanon. It is, Kodo. It is, honestly. That's why I said if I just randomly end it, this is why. But I mean, tell me I'm wrong. You're gonna sit there and admit that you knew, that you supposedly felt that Sebastian supposedly confided in you, but you were more worried about what Seth would do than protecting him. So you protected Seth over a child? If we're to believe her, that's pretty damn disgraceful to me. And she's a nurse, so she's a mandated. Okay, whatever, Mama Robbins. And then to top it off, that son you protected didn't even come to see you for the holidays. Oof. Oof. They do look like twins.
Can I make you laugh for a second? You seem a little on edge.
Yeah, can we also pluck some eyebrows around here? Holy fucking eyebrows.
Can we get some wax? I just want to make you
Some
laugh. I want to
wax.
show you what White Boy put on X. It should give you a chuckle.
All right, hold on. Let me see if Clue looks like these people too. Hold on, Clue. All right. I'm just kidding.
Zoom in on Clue's eyes. I think they
Zoom
might
in.
match.
Is that gonna give me a 3-hour cry fest and another
No, it's
20 years in
funny.
jail?
It's funny.
All right.
It says Griffney J on the case.
If there ain't drool coming out. Oh, okay.
White Boy. What White Boy edit? He's so
He has too much time on his hands, I'll tell you. Jesus Christ.
I just had to show it. That's funny. He's so stupid.
We know it.
White
we
Boy,
know
you're
it-
such an idiot.
We know Lady Eagle's name. Lady Eagle, I hope you're able to come to PA with all your slander and defamation, you dumbass bitch.
Oh, Sherry. Our love.
You're too old. Log off.
That was good.
That was pretty on beat, wasn't it?
It was.
It was.
You're quick-witted, Granny's watching.
Oh, thanks. J is for justice.
Sometimes you have to spell things out for me, but that's
like
why
when
we mesh, right?
Yeah, my favorite is telling you, Jay, that's too far conspirized.
That's
Reel it
out
back
there
in.
even for you. That's like the best thing you've ever said to me. That's out there even for you.
It's like the most insulting thing to say in the
I was
least
like,
insulting
"Fuck
way.
you."
Didn't even realize I said it like that.
And then I was like, you know what? You're right.
That is a little too far out there, even for me. Oh, man.
Oh, shit. That's funny.
We got Lady Freebird. We got Lady Schmeagle Weagle.
I told y'all I'd make her ass laugh.
Oh, my gosh. Why are they all named after birds of a feather? That's why. They're all named after birds. But here's the thing, JR. I wasn't even trying to be backhanded at all. Like, it genuinely just came out like that. Like, this one's a little far even for you. We all know Jay's known for... You're known for the tinfoil hats.
Dude, I am. There's no shame in my game. That's just my mind. It's what makes us us. Hey, by the way, Kendrick won 5 Grammys last night for They
I
Not
saw
Like
that
Us.
shit. I saw.
Isn't that crazy? 5 Grammys.
Drake's over there crying.
Oh, I know. How embarrassing.
Oh, how embarrassing is right.
Embarrassing. Someone makes a fucking diss track about you and wins 5 Grammys. I love
Dude,
it.
they play it at school dances too. Like my son's in the 7th middle school and they're playing the song at the
love
dances. Miss and Link, thank you so much.
You are the good Sherry.
But Drake's suing him.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, Drake's suing Kendrick,
It's
saying
still
that
going on. Like, when did he file it? A while back?
A while back. He claims that Kendrick faked the hype behind that song. Like he made the song appear more popular than it was.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
He's
like,
not. It's
when
the
people
main.
would go to play it, it would be that instead of Drake.
And the fact that he's not even suing, like, hey, the whole song's calling me a pedo. No, I'm suing because he faked the hype behind
It's kind of like Seth, right? Like he's suing you like for bullshit.
Right.
But SF like straight up says what he did on X and he doesn't touch it. It's
Doesn't
the
even
same
touch
concept.
it.
Like look
And I
over
never
here,
even-
not over there, right?
Right. And I never even called him that word. Matter of fact, I know Nicky Boy likes to dox people's family members and shit, and I'm not going to go as low as him, but maybe you should make sure your own tray is swinging clean before you go for somebody else's. Sips my tea. I'll sit back down.
Oh, he's doing the halftime show at the freaking Super Bowl. Oh my
Yeah.
god. It's gonna be played at the Super Bowl. That is gold.
You know,
Dude,
the people keep talking about this because Justin keeps going with it being so factual. In case you guys haven't seen it, I did a stream on it, okay? So many people are confused about that stupid audio that they're trying to pass off. When you have a moment, click the link, save it for watch later if you haven't seen it, and go watch the many times similar to this photo, tying you out, Wandering Sub, that they switched and changed up this audio. The original lady says she put it through 80 times through a machine, Jay, to come out with what she came up with.
What?
Yeah. You know, the secret audio they claim came out?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what she said. She had to put it through an editor, 80. It was something like that.
Yeah, she did. And she said she took out the, what was the, like, you know, there's like noise reduction, like different things you could edit in audio.
Yeah.
I think they said they took out something and I was like, that takes out everything. Whatever it was they removed, I'm like, what the fuck?
And my biggest thing being, they were saying it came from the flashlight video. Well, the flashlight video came from a woman holding her phone, recording a screen. So any background noise you have is from the lady holding the phone, from her surrounding, not from the computer. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like these people, they just, it makes you wonder how they get by, like day by day life. Like, are you people okay?
Well, they don't, right? I mean, that's why you have like Brittany J's mod calling her 13-year-old at home when she's at work. Can you record this? Like,
make sure you get that granny's watching.
Yeah, that's not fucking normal. Like, they're not getting on in real life because they're at work thinking about fucking you.
YouTube drama and me, yeah.
It's weird, man.
Which reminds me again, when Nancy Grace says to Tony Mathis, you know, he's the spokesperson, Tony, I thought he was national spokesperson.
Mm-hmm.
But she asked him, how is Seth Rogers doing, Tony? And Tony goes, well, you know, there's some mean people on YouTube, but there's some good channels. Like, do you think that anybody gives a fuck about social media? Like, your child's missing. Log off YouTube if people are hurting your feelings.
Right. See, like, why does Seth Rogers need a PR person, like, to publicly boost the perception of him? We gotta really think about that.
Right.
Where really is his focus? It's not on finding Sebastian.
I think
He
it's because
squelched people. You
Go
think
ahead.
it's what? No, go ahead, Alabama.
I think it's because the perception of him is so bad because of the shit that he's done that they're trying to play cleanup. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get that, but cleanup in early May, don't you think that was a little soon for the cleanup crew?
Yeah,
Because it wasn't as messy then, was it? Or am I just not remembering like when everything started to get weird?
Well, when was Brittany's panel where he was up there pretending to masturbate? Like, when we think about
Was that before Tony or after? That's what I don't remember.
I think it was after. I mean, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. But I do remember when Tony was brought on, he said he had to clean things up with Seth.
Yeah. And he also said he was going to get Seth and Chris to work together. And then he came out and said, oh, what did he say? Fair game. Fair game. They're fair game now.
Yeah, he did. Because they wouldn't work with him.
Just similar to Nick. Nick and them tried to reach out and work with the Proudfoots. And when they won it, they went on the attack of them too.
Look what he did to me. He reached out, tried to get me on board. When I wouldn't take the bait, what did he do? Came at my marriage.
Right.
Or tried to.
Listen to this part of this, guys. This is the part that gets me the most.
Social media and in mainstream media and on linear TV. Why, Tony? Why isn't everyone uniting to try to find Sebastian? I don't get it.
Why isn't everyone united in trying to find Sebastian? I don't get it. At this point, you would think she's referring to who, Jay? The parents?
Yeah.
Why aren't the parents uniting?
Like why aren't they all helping?
What does Seth go? What does Tony go to, you may ask?
Well, I think a lot of the content creators have realized that if they're
content creators,
that's why I think it's pieced in because it doesn't make sense.
Well, no, that's all they think about is YouTube. That's all they're worried about is social media. They're not in the real world.
Before. Like this is almost verbatim, I think, from another interview where he goes, you know, the ones that are doing the right thing and putting the good word out.
Well, that's what Tony always does. He repeats himself like, oh, I'm going to ask again the same question I asked. Are you any closer today? He's just a repeated fucking, But again, she's talking about the real world. Why aren't all, why is everybody working together? And here comes Tony, because all they care about is social media perception.
Try to find Sebastian. I don't get it.
Well, I think a lot of the content creators have realized that if there's constant chaos and drama, then they continue to make money off of that stuff. I think that there are a lot of good content creators that continue to focus on the child in the case.
On the child in the case. How come Tony and Seth never call Sebastian by Sebastian? Yeah, like what gets me the most is, again, you have a real life child missing. They've never done a real world search. They're not out there doing anything. They are so intertwined with YouTube and social media that they're now disconnected in my mind from the real world. Like the fact that you really thought you were going to bring frivolous litigation against us to silence us? If it really bothers Seth that much what people were saying, log the fuck off. Same thing to Brittany and all the others. If you can't handle the criticism, but to think you can take away people, I mean, Nancy's talking about the parents. Why isn't everybody working together? Tony Mathis, well, I think there's some good content creators. Who the fuck cares about content?
That's why I thought this was all spliced and diced. Because
I think they're all just spliced and diced in their freaking mind.
Is this like, are they spliced and diced for real?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think so. I think this is just they're like
just
robots.
Didn't flow. Like it just was weird. It was the weirdest fucking thing I've ever heard.
They just drive me nuts, man.
And look at how it says never ending. What is that supposed to mean?
Never ending.
Like
missing boy. Like there's no answers
the
yet.
Never ending story, starring Sebastian.
That's what she does. She's a
Sebastian,
clickbaiter.
the star of the Never Ending Story.
Yeah.
Never fucking ending. Wonder why.
That's a shame that done one, because they're so worried about, this little sector of YouTube that they're missing the whole big world that they should be out there. I thought they were going to light up national news. Why aren't they doing that? Why, what? And the fact that Justin goes on to be like was that Justin's payoff? Are you next, Snoozy Poon? It's just so ridiculous.
What did y'all think about when Nancy Grace said, and says it's always about Sebastian. He can't never think it's never about him. It's always about his son. Like, bitch, that is a lie. Quit lying.
It just tells me she's not that far involved. She's not following everything.
No, she doesn't. I don't believe she does. So she's relying on producers that are obviously being duped by the people they're speaking to, in my opinion.
She needs to get a new investigation team then.
I mean, for real. Like, have her producers been duped by this? It's fucking weird.
They were absolutely duped by it.
And she may, the Nancy Grace show may have a fucking problem with that. Maybe that's why it was taken down.
Well, I'm wondering.
Reached out to after this aired.
That's what I was going to say. I wonder, did even Sumner County and TBI or FBI reach out to her and be like, whoa?
I was thinking that too. I definitely don't believe it was any kind of issue with technical or anything like that, because it was already up. It was edited. It was uploaded. It was done. I mean, they put the description, everything.
And then just like that, it was yanked right back down.
Yeah, I think they just jumped the gun. I think maybe they made a mistake. And we're duped. Be interesting to see if this ever sees the light of day again. What do you think?
I'm very curious. I'm very curious if it will.
Too.
I mean, I don't put anything past Nancy. She's not like, the most credible person. I mean, she is like why do you think she's on a YouTube channel on her own? She's not, I don't know. It's not above her to put out clickbait.
Well, my mind changed the other day on her when I found out that she was sued by Melinda Duckett's family after Melinda Duckett killed herself the day after being on Nancy Grace. CNN, she was on HLN at the time. So the Duckett family sued CNN and Nancy Grace. And Nancy Grace managed to get her lawyers to file a motion to seal her deposition that she gave, and the judge signed it. Why? Because they said it would It could cause her harm, public disgrace, all these things. And the judge signed it. So we'll never know what she said in that deposition. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if she was the cause of this girl, like, killing herself, like, sending her over the edge. I don't know how one person can do that. Like, if you're either suicidal or you're not.
No, but they came out and proved that girl had, like, key, like, questions and all and answers for what she expected to be said on Nancy Grace, and she was expecting that. She was expecting Nancy Grace to be tough on her.
Right.
I think she took her life because she took her baby's life.
Yeah, I do too. And I don't think that was a warranted lawsuit. But what ended up happening, the settlement was Melinda's family agreed that CNN would give $200K to the National Missing and Exploited Children.
That was a good
and
deal.
that was their settlement. So I thought that was pretty cool that
that
got
they
money.
chose to do it that way.
Yeah. But yeah, what a mess. And I started looking into her more. And she had some issues when she was a prosecutor. And I didn't know all that. I never dug into her.
Yeah, that's why
really didn't.
she's what she's doing now, and she's not on these, like, high respected, credible sources anymore. She's a disgrace, to be honest. So I'm not surprised that she would allow them to come on. I mean, come on, you're coming on introducing a guy as clutches pearls, as wearing the fucking makeup you put on a deceased person.
Yeah, I mean, that lost me, really. Unless there was another plan to that, having him on, I'm embarrassed for her, to be honest.
I mean, was that part of Justin's NDA?
Well,
is that
that's
part
what
of
I'm
the
wondering.
pay of the NDA?
That's what I was wondering, like, because I think
gonna fill my
Tony
drink
did
up.
say, you're going to get on these shows. We're going to get on these. He probably promised them you'll get spotlighted on, national TV shows when we do them or whatever. I can see that being, dangled as a perk. I mean, after all, he is a salesman and he's going to say shit whether he can produce it or not. Nancy is not bound by the same. The chat's moving too fast. I agree, Vivian. Jen Sparky.
I feel like Nancy should be held to a higher standard though, because she is like so big that they should be making sure that their investigations are not like that shit that we just saw the other day, because that's dangerous. And with her being a prosecutor, she should know better.
I agree. I mean, obviously they didn't vet Justin Jensen too well, because Justin Jensen, aka Clutch Your Pearls, has been a tragedy pimp since he's been on YouTube. And it wouldn't be hard to figure that out. I mean, you watch one of his streams. I don't know. I don't have a lot of respect for the team she's got, like, pulling this stuff. And
me neither.
Yeah, it's weird. But I could see Tony saying, this is a perk. Like, if you, are part of the team, we're going to get on, national TV shows, and you're going to get, spotlighted on this for being a part of a team. Like, he's going to dangle the carrot that people think is going to equal growth. Tony, I was a salesperson for 15 years. I was selling a service of hospice and home care, and I know your fucking game. Except you sell cranes. You promise it'll do this, that, and the other, even though it won't, just so you can get the sale. I know what the fuck you're doing, Tony.
Yeah, but they need to realize that this is not like we're not selling shit. Like, this is not selling a story. That's exactly what they're trying to do, is sell a story.
Yeah.
And they got so many people believing this
Yeah.
said story that it is absolutely dangerous for Katie and Chris. That is why Sumner County needs to put their foot down, because now we're not only talking about a missing case of a child. We're talking about somebody that could be murdered for something that we don't even know if they're guilty for. Like, it is crazy how we have public perception is being allowed to be manipulated to this extent. It's wild to me. It's so crazy. Like, we are not we're not jurors. These people are not being tried and convicted. They've yet to be even put in jail for any crime. There is no said crime at this point. So why continue with this motive? if you're innocent? How do you know your child didn't run away? How do you know he's not in those woods somewhere and he just hasn't been found? Because you don't know unless you've done something. And
Can
that's
you hear me?
Oh
Yeah. God, my mic keeps cutting out. I'm sorry. I didn't want to. I didn't want to tap on it again. Sorry. No, I hear you. I hear you, but I don't know.
Sorry, I'm
I just
back.
I just think this isn't just about like Katie and Chris and like how it affects them. I think this is a bigger picture for Tony. I think that he's learning trial and error as he goes. And I feel like he wants to ultimately kind of be like a Joe Petito.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Tony wants to be an actual national spokesman. But he's, in the words of Trevor Lee, a makeshift spokesman, and which Tony responds back that he is. He agrees that he is. Well, Annie, Justin went on Nancy Grace and sold this bullshit story that he's claiming his team discovered this image, which looks like a foot, ironically, meant to be the Proudfoots. And Betty exposes that they made the photo themselves.
Do I
How's
sound
that?
static to you?
Not anymore. Now you just sound
What
loud.
is going on with my? Is it my connection or what? I'm just gonna piss everybody off in chat. They're like, "Yeah, my neighbors fucking heard you."
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to yell at you again, but holy shit! Can we try the whispering? Hello, just a good little whisper next time would do.
You're fucking killing me.
I was gonna tell you,
You are fucking killing me.
I was gonna tell you were static when I came back, but I wasn't sure if it was me or you. But now you're good.
Oh Jesus!
All right, now she's back. She didn't knock our ears out this time, but she's back.
Well, I didn't want to tap.
I'm glad you learned not to do that.
Oh, you're such a bitch.
Shay's like,
inside voices. Okay, gotcha.
Thank you.
I'm
Please
blaming
check
it
your
on
connection.
Buttermouse.
Nobody's looking for Sebastian. Well, SF and then, Cletus and Crabtree when they're actually physically out there looking. But yeah, when are these actual searches for Sebastian? When has any of that taken place? It's just not. It's simply not. He did deserve better.
Dolly is going this week for what?
I guess to search for Sebastian.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
Blessed be. It's just amazing how quickly those people turn, though, right? Like, they were all in his chat, cheering him on. Yeah, Dolly. And then he calls out one truth that they lie. And the same people are now like, well, didn't you do this, this, and this? And it's like, well, wait a minute. You didn't give a shit about that 2 days ago.
Dude, that guy, he flip-flops more than my fucking shoes.
Who was the mayor? I don't know. That's a good question.
I don't remember. I don't remember, but I did look it up once.
Julia may know. They deputized her.
Wait, what was that happened, Granny, with the mayor? When was it something to do with the tip line? Like, didn't they say like, "Oh, the mayor asked me to make this" or something?
Oh my God, she did.
What was that? Was that what it was?
She did. She said that they asked me to run this and I wasn't going to do it. And then a friend of the mayor.
Yeah.
Was it a friend of the mayor or the mayor?
It was like
my friend. Let me look.
It was wild. It was like something weird like that.
It was weird like that. It was something like that. It was like, oh, I didn't want to do it. And then the mayor's friend or a friend of the mayor. I'm a friend of the mayor. Hold on. We're going to have to find out. I have
don't know
it.
how you can pull shit up that quick. It just popped in my head when someone said that about the mayor. Because I always go to like Terry Lynn talking about the mayor, but I remember that lady saying something about the mayor wanted me to make this or under the mayor's like office or discretion or some shit.
She did. Oh, here. All right. I got to listen to these really quick. Hold on. Oh, do you want your camera on? Yes or no? You can turn it. You're good? Okay. Hey, Chris.
Hi, I just want to say I'm I've been watching for a while now, and I love your stream.
Oh, thank you, Chris. That's really sweet of you.
Hi, Chris.
Hi, guys.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good.
It looks
On,
like
on March 10th, I will be 26.
you'll be 26.
Nice.
Yep.
When's your
Almost.
birthday?
Happy birthday.
It's on Monday, March 10th.
March 10th.
Oh, that's exciting. Happy birthday.
Yeah,
Well,
happy
thank
early
you.
birthday.
You got some nice weather out there, huh?
Yep, I'm from Oklahoma.
Oh, it looks beautiful.
So are you following this case, Chris?
What case are you guys talking about?
We're talking
The
about
Sebastian.
Yeah, Sebastian Rogers.
I watch it on I watched it on my friend's panel. I don't want to say her name.
Oh,
I'm
that's
a
okay. Yeah.
I don't want to hurt Huntress.
Yeah, that's
I
okay. So what
I'm
do you
a
think? Do you have
Oh,
any
well,
thoughts?
I like Huntress.
I like Huntress, and give me a second. I'm gonna put something in the private chat real quick.
Okay. Yeah, I like Huntress too.
I'm not familiar with Huntress.
Sorry, I'm just looking for this part.
I put something in the private chat.
Oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, Huntress and yeah, I like Huntress and Dublin. You
I
can
like
say their
Dumplin.
names.
I don't know Huntress, but yeah, I think Dumplin is sweet.
Yeah, I like Dumpling.
Yeah, she's nice.
I love both of them. But I feel bad for that they're not friends anymore.
Oh, they're not.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I hate when I see that happen.
I've been following the Sebastian case. Last year, I lost a cousin of a drug overdose on July
Oh,
Sorry.
on July 28th. But sometimes
sorry.
these panels that I come on, it helps keep me alive.
oh, I'm so
Aw.
sorry.
I'm sorry for your loss. That's really sad.
But I've been following the Sebastian case.
So
I
what do
hope
you
he gets found soon.
Yeah, we do too. What do you think could have happened to him, Chris? Do you have any ideas?
I think maybe, I don't know if the parents are involved, but it wouldn't shock me if they are.
Yeah. We're with you on that one. We just want him found too.
Yep. But I'll be back up here later if you have me up here again, Granny Swanson.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for coming up.
Thanks, Chris. Nice
Hope you
Thank
have
you
a good day.
guys. It's nice meeting you all.
You as well. Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Bye, Chris. Have a good day. Sunshine
Listen
looks
to
nice.
some music.
Music is the best.
I'm listening to music. I'm not talking to no one.
Oh shit. He's gonna get
Oh.
in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Sebastian could have been doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, I hope he doesn't get in trouble.
I hope you don't too.
Mm.
Now I'm waiting for Chris's mama to call us. Just kidding. He did get caught. Oh.
Wow, that was kind of wild.
I
It shows
never-
you how easy it is, says TK. It's true.
Yep. Sorry, I'm
Oh.
looking over here for that part.
We said Chris isn't meant to be on panels, Granny. Just FYI, he knows that.
Oh. I never met him, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, I haven't either. He has parental watch. Okay. Oh. Only takes look at how quick it happens, right?
Yep.
She came to check on him and it was that fast.
That just shows you how quick it could have happened to Sebastian too. You know what I mean?
That's what we're saying, girl.
It's crazy. That's why it's so wild to me, like how since team is trying to paint this narrative that we're not, that we don't really know what the truth is. And so it's wild to me. Like, that shows right there, we just saw it in real life, like how fast Sebastian could have met somebody online, and then that's all she wrote. You know what I mean? Like, then it's what's done is done. All he wanted was friends. We've heard that numerous times. Like,
Well,
some
did you
people,
guys see that site that my son went on last night? The bot human or bot?
I did.
Yeah, it was disturbing.
That was crazy. Like,
You
wow.
get 2 minutes to talk to somebody, and in like the 5th time he did it, they gave him a phone number and said they would video chat right now.
That's ridiculous. That's very dangerous. And some woman on in the who was telling us about it, her granddaughter was on there. Like, that is so crazy.
Yeah, saying that she was giving information that she shouldn't have been. It was scary.
And they were all human. Like,
Yeah,
none of them were
he got
bots.
one bot. I think he got one out of all the times we did it.
Oh, okay. See, I ended up having to stop watching for a few minutes because I got a 6 and 4-year-old that are crazy.
I'm surprised you can watch it all, to be honest.
Yeah.
I found the audio.
When my 5-year-old granddaughter's here, I have like, what's that called? Morphle. She takes over my TV and watches Morphle.
Here, Jay, I found the audio. You want to hear it?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Oh, I thought I was
So this is
blocking it. We're not
this is
quite
the tip
blocking
line
it.
lady about the mayor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
All right.
Wouldn't be here, but also, the governor's office friend. That once she called, I was like, because I offered my services in the beginning, but nobody picked up on it, so I let it go.
The governor's office friend is what she says.
Governor.
Mm-hmm.
Does she go on to say mayor?
I hear governor.
Because remember, someone called like the mayor's office to like talk to them about it.
I don't really recall that.
You don't?
Mm-mm. But here's this too. Hold on. Let me play it really quick to make sure.
Mitten Mama, this is the recording when the tip line lady called Granny back. And then she like left the stream to talk to her, and like the tip line ended up giving her all the information instead of taking it. I remember that too. No, nope, not today. It wasn't from Terry Lynn though. There was also something with this tip line, I think.
My mom is in the chat. She said, Alabama Mama, your mom's here.
Which one's your mom?
It's Alabama Mama 59.
Oh, hey, Mom, she says. Hi, Mom.
Dang, I thought you guys were the same people, to be honest.
No, we're daughter and mother.
I thought maybe sometimes you just logged under a different ended number.
Oh, that's so funny.
Alabama Mom 59, your mama. There we go. Listen, here we go. Who's birthday scammer? What is going on? So many mamas. Mama too, thank you so much. What am I missing? All right, here's this. Ready? Let's hear it from here.
Daughter that she got a list of every place that's already been searched.
Wait, whose daughter?
Oh, no, they hadn't answered me, but they will. So I understand too from my daughter that she got a list of every place that's already been searched. And by the way, we've been here about as long as that website's been up. I think I've been on the case since about May the 2nd or 3rd or something.
Okay.
But basically, a friend of the governor's called and asked me to get involved.
Oh, what? A friend of the governor's called and asked me to get involved.
Why do I think that there was something about the mayor with that lady?
I thought it was mayor too.
Her daughter got a list of all the places that have been searched. By who? Like by Seth or by LE?
Girl, I don't know.
Yeah.
She was saying it was information overload.
I see that. That was a long ass call too.
I did. So hope somebody would tell them just send it to my website when they're there. When they're there, all I need is their tag too. I can do license plate reader. It'll tell me when they're in Tennessee, when they've been in Mississippi. It'll tell you when It will tell you they were at Walmart in January.
What?
Yeah, look. I think she was asking if I knew the Bower Sox license plate. I said, well, you might want to ask Betty that.
Aurora, she did. Yes. Play Nice says Mayor was on the call you played the other day, Granny. I don't know what you played the other day.
I don't know what I played the other day either.
I don't even remember what I played last night.
She also tells me they got surveillance on the house right now where they believe Faith was at. And that with the okay, and then we also left it with the police, but please don't go interview those people. I will, right? Somebody has to. Yeah, but they don't. I couldn't find any connection to the family, but that don't mean there isn't one, right? That doesn't mean anything. Oh, and then I go, yeah, this is a lot. But the more of us that talk legitimately and talk about real things and get up here on an intellectual level, we could probably solve this, right? And if there's people watching them in Memphis, man, I hope somebody would tell them, just send it to my website when they're there. Oh, they wanted the license plate number of Chris and Katie. Oh, I don't know.
That's very sus. But she mentioned her daughter, so that would mean she's got a daughter who is also involved. So
yeah, so maybe this is the PI's mom. Yeah, because I tell her it might be worth asking Betty for the license plate. She might have that. And that's when the whole governor talk came about. Oh, look at this. You ready for this, Shay?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. I just seen it coming up next.
Wow.
And I said, I will, but not until everybody signs a non-disclosure because I'm not about to try to fight the world.
Right. Not until everybody signs a non-disclosure.
Oh, Lord have mercy. She gave you some tips there, girl.
Oh, my God. There's like 4 of them.
I have never heard of calling a tip line and receiving tips.
Oh, so she told the governor. So basically, a friend of the governor's called and asked me to get involved. And I said, I will, but not until everybody signs a non-disclosure because I'm not about to fight the world, right? And it's nasty, very nasty. And then she goes, let's work together. People, that's what needs to happen. And it's terrible that it can't. There's a reason. There's a reason why this became so divided. It was set out intentionally to do that, in my opinion. Oh, that's right. Chris wants to make sure we're divided, right? Oh, so I said there's a reason we're all divided. And she goes, Chris wants to make sure we're divided and keep the focus off Sebastian and more on this person and that person. And, all these bad actors coming in. And oh my goodness. Oh, well, this was a total, I said this was a mind blown. So she, yeah, it's actually Seth that kept it totally divided and brought in all these bad actors, but.
And she got involved right around the time TikTok Tony did as well.
Yeah, it kind of seems like. Didn't she say June or something?
Kelly, I think that you're talking about Julia. Julia's mom sent emails. I think that's who you're talking about, the fake dog handler.
The May the 2nd or 3rd, she said. I think I've been on this case since about May the 2nd or 3rd.
The timing is impeccable.
Oh, sure is. That would be the same Memphis, Shelby County that Julia was working in. Just saying. Oh. Yeah, she says so many horrible, rumors that at that point I knew she was just repeating rumors. Did you read Kanye West was escorted out? No.
Did you see his wife?
Yeah, she was nude.
Yeah, what weirdos, man. But that's him. Oh, I've been canceled, all happy about it. And then he shows up at the Grammys,
right. Shows up at the Grammys with her nude.
Right.
That's like an indecent exposure.
Attention whore.
I know. I don't understand it either, Alabama. They're the ones that have kept everybody divided. Honestly. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Messy, but one thing I know for sure. Projection, right? I agree. One thing I do know for sure, I have no doubt about, I'm curious if any of you feel the same way, is that I think they're purposely trying to taint public perception. What do you guys think?
I do, for sure.
Yep.
But where does it come to a point where law enforcement, like if they are seeking some sort of an indictment on someone and just, building a case, where does it come to a point where you're tainting like the local jury pool?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, like where like they came out so quickly about the hoodie guy, but all of this misinformation, they're not correcting any of it. So it's like it makes me wonder why.
It's infuriating. It's infuriating that they're not coming out and speaking.
Yeah, and the fact that they would come out to debunk the hoodie person, but
Okay.
not.
Did
you
y'all
know,
hear that shit on Nancy Grace? How they tried to spin that narrative about the hoodie person that they planted to make us believe and make not us, because I didn't believe that shit ever, but to make the public believe that person was so guilty. How Tony tried to spin that narrative, like this shit is crazy.
Well, and if you think about it too, like when the glasses were found by the Bowersox house, that went on the local news. Glasses found, like, and then when it came out, like where they were found, it happens to be by his step grandparents, and it's just wild. Like, it's planting seeds. It's planting seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Or how their subs don't like remember for some reason all of these leads that they've got. Like, I thought that the preacher was all suspect. Like, what happened to him?
Oh, I didn't even hear this part. I'm glad you just said that because I didn't watch anybody covering this. Listen to this.
Well, Nancy, I think that people are
outside. Look, guys, look at what's happening. To special guest joining us, Tony Mathis, spokesperson for Seth Rogers. What is it? What is it about a person in a green hoodie that attracted the attention of so many internet sleuths?
Well,
next time you're screen recording, if you put your notifications on silent or do airplane mode, it won't have the audio going in and out. His answer is so fucking interesting because it's insulting to his own team. Because it was the Britneys and the Justins and the Bettys that did everything.
Them under the bus.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
Nancy, I think that people are starving for information. I think they were overanalyzing this video. I think we could watch any normal video of a normal situation and find people that don't appear to be acting normal.
Fuck him.
Right?
Is
He totally
anybody
threw
else?
them under the bus, man.
He did, but it's also a little fucking insulting because he knows all that, yet he played along with it with this intelligence agency.
I agree. He's a fucking snake.
They fed all these starving, content-seeking MFers, not the good MFers, we're the good MFers, with this shit, and then turns around and says that people were starving. Unbelievable's right.
He's not going to publicly admit that he's a party
He was
to that
part of it.
narrative.
Oh my God. And
Yeah,
then to
he's a
say the
snake.
same, this is what we've been saying for months. You can take any footage of anybody out anywhere and make it seem, evil or any of these things. But oh my God, I can't believe he just said that.
And the rest of the team isn't like, wait a minute, why is he not saying the same thing we are?
Right.
They don't question that.
They don't quite. They're like,
They're
oh
so
yeah.
fucking dumb, man. Like, if I was Justin, I'd be like, dude, why'd you just throw me under the bus?
Even
Like,
Justin, Brittany,
I'm on here
Betty.
with like, yeah, but Justin's on the show with him, right? Like showing this enhanced video, and here's Tony going, well, I think people overanalyze. Like,
oh, we
so
could take
that
any
only-
normal situation, find people that don't appear to be acting normal. Wow, you don't fucking say.
Idiots.
I've been saying that. We've been saying that shit for months.
Idiots. At the end of the day, he ain't got their back.
And that's exactly what they did. They did exactly what. Oh my God, this is so aggravating.
Think about it too, though. Like all the money going to other people, all of the narrative spread by other people.
They're keeping their hands clean because they're a fucking enterprise.
One hand dirty, one hand clean. That's what I see.
Right, they're an enterprise.
Yeah. The dirty hand passes out the packets. The clean hand talks to Nancy Grace.
Yep.
Well, like Dog, the bounty hunter, like pushed that narrative real hard to the fact that they put the video out, and so did Nick. So this private night or whatever Nancy said the other day, that shit was funny too. Like that private investigation team sure does suck, don't they, Tony?
Well, to be honest, if you really think about it, Nick and even Dog, all Dog did was post a video. He's not the one that made them put this narrative behind it. They're the ones that twisted and ran with it and presented in all these ways. Nick did, but not Dog. He
You
just
want to know
uploaded
something
the
else?
footage.
You want to know something else about Tony?
What are you asking us?
Tony.
I'm sorry, I missed the question. Sorry, go ahead.
Tony's such a good PR guy, right? Such a good salesman. When he tried to sell himself to Chris Proudfoot, he told him some very personal things about Caleb Harris as a way to sell himself. Like, oh, I kept this, and this under wraps, but this is really what it was.
Yeah, like I had this
that's not a-
information.
Yeah, like
X,
that's not
Y,
a red
and Z.
flag, right? Like
Right.
you're telling me, fuck you. Like,
right.
Tony, you're a snake. Everybody knows it. You're so fucking transparent. It's sick.
You know,
And
he
there
sent that picture to Crabtree of Caleb dead in that what
right.
Like that's crazy. Like, no, I
It
don't
is.
want some fucking spokesperson or nobody for that matter working for me that would do some evil shit like that to my deceased child.
I think that was actually like a, like a relief probably when that came out that he leaked that video, that the Proudfoots did not follow suit like Seth wanted them to.
Well, now we know that they were purposely putting things out to agitate Chris. We just got to get Chris angry enough again. We just got to get Chris to snap.
And, just another thing too, they might be quiet. Nick and Hong might be quiet because in those leaked screenshots, Nick says, I can't wait to go to Tennessee and slap Chris.
Oh, was that Nick?
Mm-hmm.
How do we know it was Nick? It didn't show who said it.
I don't know. Someone knew it was. So that may have been, a reason why he's gone dark.
Or maybe because Betty's such an idiot, she tried to play it off like this leak was intentional, but at the same time try to play it off like they're being stalked. And it's like you people can't even get on par with what your fucking excuses are.
Mm-hmm.
Such an intelligent team you are.
Body said it did show he said it.
I didn't see where it showed who was saying that. Huh.
Yeah, in your own.
Play
but
nice.
it was
At the
Nick.
top, it showed his name. I got a bigger shot of it.
It was Nick that said it. You said.
Yep.
Well,
for
ain't that
$250.
something?
Yeah, for $250. He wanted to go and slap Chris.
Kind of like how for Betty for
someone
$50
who can't leave the
to buy
state though,
something.
like someone who's on parole and can't leave the state, can't wait to get to Tennessee to slap someone.
And then says if he won't call the cops when everybody knows you're the snitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're the legit snitch talking about if he won't call the cops. You probably wish he would call the cops. Your little 5'2" fucking
Hey Huntress.
I'm
I
not
want to
gonna
hear
lie, y'all.
I want to hear the rest of this out really quick if you guys don't mind.
Go ahead.
Just that part, I didn't hear it.
Starving for information. I think they were overanalyzing this video. I think we could watch any normal video of a normal situation and find people that don't appear to be acting normal. But we don't believe that anybody in these videos has anything to do with what happened with Sebastian at this point.
Seth, do you?
What? We don't believe anybody in these videos have anything to do with Sebastian at this point? Are you fucking kidding? Where are you at, Brittany J? Anyway, do you think that you could present any night live stream of Brittany J and make her appear abnormal? I think you could. But I can't believe he just said that. We don't think they had anything to do with Sebastian at this point.
If I was live for weeks pumping out their shit and I heard that, I would be like,
and we knew it was on, the docket, Jay. It was on the docket for them to push that. Is this real life?
I don't know, but BJ didn't go live last night.
Oh.
That was kind of a oddity.
Shocker. Does Seth respond to this too?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, let me hear that.
Do you believe the Roadhouse video shows anything inappropriate or odd from someone in a green hoodie?
It does seem odd. Law enforcement has verified that individual in their story. I find it odd behavior for anybody to be hiding behind somebody's vehicle.
What was the odd behavior, Seth?
Just being behind somebody's vehicle like that shouldn't be there. I mean, I was raised you would move out of people's way.
The person, yeah, I was raised. The person did move out of the way, though. They did. You saw it.
Little kids alone, just asking for a friend.
Right. Right. But you saw the person move out of the way. You literally see them put their hands up, like, excuse me, type of thing.
He's an idiot.
I can't
He's an
believe
idiot.
that.
He
I
says,
can't
"Oh,
fucking believe it.
I'm 100% behind law enforcement. We meet with them 4 times a week." And then he says in one breath, "Law enforcement checked him out in their story." And then he says, "But, it is odd behavior." It's like they vetted it. Why are you still saying it's odd, weirdo?
Do you think Nancy would find a father of missing child sitting on a panel pretending to masturbate odd?
I would hope so.
I would hope so too.
And
And does
wouldn't
he
your
not?
mother teach you better?
Right. Well, no, she doesn't. She's the type of person that keeps a secret of a child allegedly being abused to protect her grown child. But also, it makes me wonder too. Does he not speak to Tony, or is Tony playing the good cop, bad cop when it comes to Seth too? Like you guys aren't. How about when Tony said, "Oh, and I thought I was on the phone with Nick," and next thing you know, dog comes in reading me my Miranda rights, and I thought, "Oh, we'll play your little silly game." Oof, that's embarrassing. Hey, Rowena.
Girl, I am so glad you were saying all this. I was saying it, but I was too gummy last night. Okay, so.
Rowena, you rocked it last night. I listened.
Oh, Lord. So, thank you. Maybe I do better gummied. But, okay, so you've got Nancy asking about Green Hoodie, right? And then Dick Talk says, well, I think it was just a lot of hungry people that overanalyzed it. Then you've got Seth that pipes up, which I don't know how the hell he gets from a parking lot to a door without walking behind some kind of car unless you park in handicap, which you probably fucking do. Anyway, don't ever walk in a parking lot, bitch. Anyway, sorry, I can't stand him. I'm sorry. Anyway, and then, but look who their panel expert star is. Justin, the fool that spent how many days on that video dissecting every single move, zooming into the camera. So nobody in that video has anything to do with glad you said it, baby. But do you see what I'm saying? It's like you've got Tony that's trying to disavow it. You've got Seth that's still trying to hang on to it for a nickel. And then you've got Justin over here that I don't know if he'd already dropped off or whatever, but he's one of the ones that was so thirsty that analyzed it for 4 days.
Well, I would love to know what Tony thinks of the little blurb of Chris, Katie, and Sebastian that they found. What does he think of that?
Yeah. But I just thought that was so. But yeah, the minute y'all said that, I was like, "Thank you, God." Somebody, because like I said, I was gummied when I was talking. So, but I just thought that was real interesting. But I do think it's good cop, bad cop. And if you really think about it, I think Tony is afraid. I do. He has some things to lose. The others don't. And like a boat and all the other things that
Oh, you'd be surprised what the others have, Rowena. I know you guys all keep thinking because they play poor that they're poor, but I'm telling you, they got shit. They got shit.
Well, let's just say I don't think Sean has shit. So
You'd be surprised too.
Well, I probably would, but I know Justin does just because by marriage, he married well, so like my sister. So, but yeah, and yes, I did call him Dick Top. That's what I've always called him since his peen green.
It's funny. I want to know where in chat where what's her face? Shit. Where'd it go? Venus. Venus said that Seth was in orphanages. I have never heard that. I heard his mom adopted him at birth. Like, I've never heard he was in an orphanage. Have you?
Oh, I don't know. No.
Like, I've never heard that.
I thought the green hoodie person was supposed to be Chris's sister that's now deceased. I thought that was the latest with the green hoodie.
That was the latest, yeah.
So
it was a man, then it was a woman, and now it's Chris's deceased stepsister.
So
I will never get over. I will never get over an intelligence agency coming out with breaking news that green hoodie is a female. That killed me. Like, that's the big breaking news from the intelligence agency. That is a female.
It's a man again.
I'll never get over an intelligence agency charging $500,000 for their intelligence, but going to Twitter and telling people that they'll give money for videos, that they'll pay you for videos or whatever. I mean, for $500,000, I would think that you wouldn't have to ask anybody. That's just me. Maybe I expect too much out of my money.
Do we really think that the retainer paid was $500,000?
Stop it. No. I'm being a smart aleck.
Oh, no, I know. But do you think that they actually paid a retainer?
Well,
No.
no, because the one part of litigation says that it was gifted to them by a generous donator, but then further in the litigation papers, they say that they're working pro bono. So,
Oh,
If,
and
if
then
they were paid a retainer, their super chats to Betty and to Laura Lounge would have been bigger.
well, I do
You
think they're getting financial gain out of this. That's why the NDA said if you do anything to violate, you give back the financial gain.
Yeah, they're getting some, but they're not becoming rich. Let's just put it that way.
Well, Tony's got a lot of
Nick
toys.
not Nick and Hong. Now,
Right.
Sean, most definitely.
You never know; those boys could have big bank accounts. I mean, living at
stop
home,
it.
shit, they ain't
Stop
got no
it.
bills.
Stop it.
Well, Nick owes too much money to other people.
Right.
And Home
But
spent
Hong-
$1,000 on shoes. So
True. Hong's shoes.
I still need to know Granny's shoe size and Hong's shoe size. Granny, you need to ask for Hong's $1,000 shoes. I'm just saying.
I don't want those fucking lean-ins.
Well, ask. I know. I said the back of him is all squished down where he walked on the heel. Oh shit.
The inside's all squished down because the body weight. You ever see people's shoes that do that from,
Yep.
they're too
Yep.
heavy?
Yep.
Anybody, I not. Yeah,
I
he
know.
can keep the
I
shoes.
could say so much more, but I'm not.
I have a question for you guys that I'm curious what you think. So a lot of people think that Seth is keeping this narrative going, to like grift, to make money.
I don't think it's just for money.
I don't either. Do you guys
I don't
really
either.
think that he's making money right now off of people?
Yeah.
I
You
do.
think-
Most definitely.
You think people are still donating?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Definitely.
Because I don't see like the creators like Brittany and Justin and shit like pumping those cash apps anymore. Like
Well, they had to pump them at first to get them out there. Now people, you can
Now
go to
they
the
have
Cash app and go, oh, poor Seth. And ding, there's $100.
Dude, you're so right. You're so right.
That poor
I didn't even
They
think
don't
of
have
that.
to pump it.
Well, and he has the fucking monetized channel that he doesn't even do
And the-
content on that people are given to monthly out of sympathy.
Look how much he made at Christmas off that thumbnail of Sebastian looking like he was 20 years old and about to go to the club.
Yep.
But is
He was
that
tearing
enough
off.
money? Like, but is hoping that people will revisit their Cash App or, whatever PayPal or whatever they're using to donate to you? Is it enough to hope that they'll go back and redonate?
I don't think
feel
it's
like there's
just
got to
As
be
long as
more
it's
to
co-
this.
when you
I don't
start-
think it's
when you-
just money.
What do you think it is, Granny? If it's not just money?
Well, it's the attention. He's getting all this attention. And man even said, my phone used to ring once every 3 weeks. Now I'm on it all the time. He goes up on I'll never understand how he goes up on these panels as the father of a missing child, but then sits there and plays jokes like he's up there like a buddy of theirs. Even during heavy topics, when he's talking about Sebastian's alleged, trauma, he's up there with Pascal joking about, oh, well, you wear that team on your hat. Like the guy I just think that he fucking thinks he's invited up there. Maybe he knows. Maybe the only reason people like you, Seth, is because you're the father of a missing child. Maybe he knows that.
Right.
So he wants to keep that going because these people want to look at you twice if it weren't for that.
Right. And
I
I
don't
think
know.
this is the first time in his life that he's had his ego struck this much and been able to be called the general.
Right. And
that's a control thing, and that's his whole thing. You gonna take one of my voices, or you gonna take one of my voices,
Right.
you're gonna hear my voice.
I
That's
get
a
what y'all are
control.
saying, and I agree with you. But do you really think that he's going to go a year just for that? Like, your
You know how much
kid's
he
missing.
made?
Like, right, but like
Look-
your kid's missing.
Well,
Right.
what else do you want him to do, though? What else does he have to do right now?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like it's got to be deeper. Like, you got to know something to go this far. Like, to do
He
that
didn't
for
have a
attention?
$5,000 mortgage. He ain't driving an Escalade or a Lamborghini. He said that he fed Sebastian Hot Pockets and shit. I mean, you're not talking about somebody that's used to living at a certain level of income and then all of a sudden it's cut off. He made more than he would have made as a correction officer in a year off the back of Sebastian.
Yeah, I get that, but the fact that it was done on day 3, it feels more contrived than that. Like, like I could see if he started it a couple weeks later, like, ooh, people want to donate
Right.
money to me. Like people are offering me money.
Right.
Like, let's set up a GoFundMe. But it was already like a thought before the public even really was involved.
What if he would have been? What if Sebastian would have been found on day 5? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Why so quick? And it
the
tells
other
me
thing,
something. Chris and Katie had to tell him we will not set up a GoFundMe
right.
between
Well,
the
and
3 of
Roro
them.
too, the other thing is that when he set it up, he didn't set it up on day 3, or his sister didn't set it up on day 3 to say, oh, hey, this is for efforts to find Sebastian. It was set up for his living expenses off the bat.
Right.
And worded that way so that no one could come back. It almost
Right.
feels more thought through than that. You know
Oh,
what I
it's
mean?
It was very thought through.
It's weird, and it makes
And
you
it was
wonder
also put in
why.
her name, and then the Cash App was put in Sebastian's godmother's name.
Right.
And because you know why?
Nothing
Goes
can
back
come
to
back on him.
disability. You cannot have in the state of Tennessee. You can't have any income for 4 months when you file for
Well,
disability.
and let's go a step
before you
further with that,
file.
Roro. Let's go a
But
step
he,
further.
but wait a minute, because
Family,
he did have income at that time because he was working up until Sebastian disappeared.
I know, but
So
then he didn't. And
right, but
you
he was
have
still
to.
employed because he was getting the paid time off from his
right? But
coworkers.
fast forward to listen. Then you couple it with this. Listen. So remember when he went on T-Rev and he was like, "Oh, that attorney, like my attorney's looking into how to set up a trust, blah blah blah."
Uh-huh.
Enter Rogers Homestead of Family Values, where people like Godmother and Sister and whomever else is collecting funds can put it in the Rogers Homestead of Family Values. Therefore, then Seth can pay himself through the Rogers Homestead of Family Values. What do you think of that theory?
Oh, I totally agree with that. I think anything's possible. But do y'all also see that, like with Betty and all the tragedy pimps, including Seth, he's one off of his own son. Do y'all also see how hard they have to work, to where they wouldn't have to work as hard if they just went out and got a job?
Oh,
It's
he's
like
lazy as fuck. I mean,
oh
yeah.
yeah,
His
but
work history just shows that, right?
well, they're physically lazy.
Mm-hmm.
They're consumed with. I've worked with people like this, to where it's like you work harder at bitching to where you could have already got it done if
Oh,
you
right.
wouldn't stand here bitching to me. You know
The
what I
bare
mean?
minimum. Yeah, they do the bare minimum.
Mm-hmm.
So I completely agree that Seth has made a lot of money, more money than he would have working as a corrections officer. But I have a question pertaining to something else, and maybe someone else can answer this for me. Why would a parent? Okay, so y'all know I do search and rescue. Okay, that's no big secret. But the thing is search and rescue teams, we either get called in by the parents or we get called in by law enforcement to do search and rescue. Okay, we can call and offer our services, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to say, okay, y'all can come in, we're going to set up a command center and get all this done. So Chris and Katie were the ones working with the Cajun Navy, right? Right?
I believe so. Yeah.
No, they said
Oh,
Seth was too.
They all
Right.
three was.
But in
thought
that
that.
interview with Chris, he said that he was talking to the Cajun, working with the Cajun Navy before the interview with Seth.
Right, but all of them were working with them together at the
Right.
same time.
Oh,
Seth
they
had
were?
also reached out. Seth had also reached out to him.
Okay, but was that before or after the Proudfoots?
I think it was kind of in conjunction.
It was the same time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm misunderstanding that the Cajun Navy showed up for Chris and Katie and were part of it first?
Yeah, you're misunderstanding because it was actually
Okay.
Seth that reached out to Cajun Navy. When they got there, they spoke with Chris and Katie too.
Okay.
Oh, that's not how I heard it.
That's not how I heard it either.
I heard that when because Chris said it in his, and
Yep.
what was that we played the other day?
It was in the interview with him and Nancy Grace.
Oh, Nancy Grace, that's right. He did say that they were out to eat. That's who they were on. Katie was on the phone with the Cajun Navy
To get them in.
because they were leaving Riley's strain. So they
Mhm.
got in touch with Katie, and she was like, "Yeah, go ahead and come." Well, when they got to Hendersonville, somehow they met the bio dad, and then bio dad said, "Oh, we got a tip on Facebook to go over to this Rockland park, and he misguided them from Hendersonville over to this park that had been closed down because of tornadoes.
Right. He kind of
So
intercepted it.
he intercepted
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's what I was just that's what I was getting to. Why would you intercept a search team, an actual search team helping that came to specifically help search for your missing child?
In my opinion, because you're guilty as fuck. It's
Right?
the only reason you do that.
Right?
That's your child.
Well,
The only
why
reason
would
you do that is because you're guilty as fuck.
Why would you
Love
send
Jay.
C&Ds to people that are actually boots on the ground looking for your son, legitimate PIs that just want people vetted, people that are raising money for billboards for across the country for your son? Why would you shut them up? Why is it that every time something comes out about Seth, like disability and all the things, and no, you didn't search, and no, you weren't in a fight at the jail, and all the things, and then there's another big distraction like a picture? Because, in my opinion, you don't want him found because the money and the ass pats will stop. And I said in week 2, I said it, and I stand on it today. I think his hate for Katie overrides the love he has for his son. I truly think that. We saw how revengeful he was with the pizza. We've seen all the things. This is who
You know,
he is.
we had my son on last night. He's like 26, right? And we kind of threw some things at him. And he pegged Seth without even knowing any details. And he said he's so emotionally immature.
Mm-hmm.
All of that you just said just reeks of emotional immaturity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
he's
what
not capable.
Right. I've been saying the same thing. He's stuck. He's stuck back in a time. He hasn't moved forward. He's so mentally immature that his own mother wouldn't protect her grandchild because she'd rather protect him because he's incapable of controlling himself. I mean, don't
And
forget that the
now
fact
she,
that a grandmother would allegedly keep the alleged admitted abuse of her grandchild to herself because she was afraid of the way her adult son would react. That's concerning.
but I think she also wanted to, uh, but I don't know if my child was getting a divorce and became homeless, my child would come live with me until they could get back on their feet, and Seth wouldn't have been homeless. But he never said he had to go stay at his mama's either.
Oh, yeah. Well, apparently he
Also,
wasn't even homeless, so that would
Right.
probably explain that.
Mhm.
also, I've been kind of looking back over things in this case and the different interviews and stuff with Seth, and whenever certain, doing a timeline. And did y'all happen to catch that all of a sudden, whenever law enforcement wouldn't clear Seth, they weren't doing their jobs? Did y'all notice that? That's
I'm
whenever
sorry,
everything
repeat
came in.
that.
Did y'all notice that whenever Betty did the whole clear Seth, whenever Seth went on Pascal and said, "Oh, I'm a suspect. They haven't cleared me. They won't clear me." Do y'all realize that is about exactly the time whenever Seth started saying law enforcement's not doing anything. We need them to get the FBI involved. Did y'all notice that?
Mm-mm.
No, I
That
think the
might have been
FBI
when they played the what if.
FBI was already involved.
Yeah, yeah. But Seth
I
was
would like
telling
to
us
know
they
why you
weren't.
can't be served. Where you at, Seth? Why can't you be served with them papers?
Here's another question for you. Why would Seth Rogers want to declare Sebastian deceased?
Insurance.
Why do you say he does?
I haven't heard he did.
I heard that he did. I heard that he was inquiring about it.
Because he's the one out here saying, I believe he's alive ever since they hired this intelligence agency.
I heard it was for the insurance. He thought that the Gerber plan was worth more than it was.
Oh, God.
Yeah, but that's just hearsay, to be honest.
It is
Nobody's
hearsay.
even pinned down where that came from.
I don't
It
believe
is
that.
hearsay, but I'm just saying, that's what I heard.
Yeah, no, because he wouldn't be out here saying, I believe my son's alive if he's trying to have him written off as deceased.
But he also was on a boat with Tony saying this is a recovery mission.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's just because he's an idiot. And I think when they had this intelligence group came in, they had to suddenly switch up the theory that Sebastian was deceased or the likelihood, because then they sound pretty fucking stupid saying we're interfering with bringing him home. because you had Dog on TV saying he's likely deceased because he hasn't had his medication. You had him saying he's likely in a pipeline. You had Nick saying he's likely dead in a dish somewhere. And then all of a sudden they're like, he's alive. We have reason to believe he's alive. Like, it
Well,
was
not
a
to
rare
mention,
miracle.
you have Seth telling a polygrapher that he thinks that Katie drugged Sebastian and did something to him.
Right.
I mean, there's been 30 different scenarios at least, you know, from Seth's side. And then on top of that, you have Seth going over 100 miles away, taking the search and rescue team that could have actively been searching the area his son went missing and moved them to another location and kind of infiltrated the search team. And then wouldn't you know, JRL, who was the one that was all with Seth during that time, is the one that would go after the Cajun Navy. I wonder where all that animosity right there came from.
Because Cajun Navy came and taking control of how they were going to do searching and shit. We witnessed that unfold.
But Cajun Navy was a search team. They should charge their own searches. They should be in charge of their own searches and work with law enforcement.
Right, but they were trying to tell other people how they were going to search, and JLR disagreed with it is all. So that's where they bumped heads.
Hey, Granny, check your text real quick.
I'm just, there's a lot of things I'm seeing, and I wish I could say that, yeah, because of what, you know, Seth did with the whole T-Ref thing over the Michaela and how he's acted with Katie, you know, and the animosity towards her, that I could just write it all off as this is all animosity and a money grab. But I'm not going to lie to you guys. Like, over the past 2 weeks, some of the stuff I've seen come out, I'm like, Seth, you sit there and you gripe because law enforcement won't clear you as a parent, but you're going out here in the public making yourself look suspicious.
Yep. Well, I lost my grace when he sat in that chat while Betty said all that stuff about Katie and didn't care if she was no longer with us. She wouldn't shed a tear, and he sat right there in that chat. And that's a whole lot of hate, man. I mean, that's a lot of hate. And when you got that much hate, I don't put you doing past anything. I just don't. Not now. That's why I said I just don't have any more grace. But that, you know, and if that makes me a piece of shit, then I'll just be a piece of shit. I'm good with that. I'm okay.
Here's my thing, though. If Cajun Navy, right, and like for them to come in and just be like, okay, well, we'll go search where the father told us to and nowhere else, then they're kind of at fault for that, too.
Well, Cajun Navy also said that they were threatened, but never filed a police report.
But listen,
So,
listen.
I
When
got
Seth
issues.
intercepts someone, what does he do? He smears the fuck out of the Proudfoots. So if he got in the ear of the Cajun Navy and said, you know, they're fucking abusive. I mean, you can't deny the fact that the kid went missing from the Proudfoots' house. He's got that on his side immediately. So
Right,
if
but
he
they're
starts
still
talking-
professionals. They shouldn't go by hearsay. They should still
They're
search. That
just
would give
wanting
me
to
more,
find the kid, right? They're not
right, which
trying
would
to-
give me more reason to go search around the Proudfoot property as opposed to, you know, all the way over here at this park that the father
I'm telling
chose.
you, he got in their ear, just like he has everybody. He got in JLR's ear.
I
It's
think
the
so
same
too,
thing.
Jay.
He's manipulative as fuck.
Yep.
I
We're
don't
all
know.
useful idiots.
I mean, I get that
And
he's
they may feel like idiots after that. I mean, who knows?
And they did supposedly report the threats, but again, the threats came from Dolly and JLR. They orchestrated the threats. It had nothing to do with anybody else.
And how cold-hearted do you look when you're questioning the father of a missing kid when he's sitting there pathetic in front of you? I mean, these people are in the moment like, we want to find this kid, right? Like, I don't know. I think Seth is the main cause of all these problems.
But again, I still goes to their professional credibility, right? Because the same excuse could be given to Julia then, like, oh, this professional canine
No,
fell for
because
the
Julia, you never mix military jobs with civilian jobs, right? So that right off the bat discredits her.
Right, but I'm saying as far as her being like, oh, well, I felt bad for Seth, and then, oh, the Proudfoot bad. It's like, yeah, the Cajun Navy's professionals. They shouldn't have any bias. I don't care what the father's
But they
saying. They're
also
there.
shouldn't meddle in between, you know, divorcees and shit. Like, that gets dirty. I could see where they'd be like, oh, you have a tip? All right, we'll check it out.
Right,
I
but they
mean-
still should have checked other areas as well. And if they didn't,
Well, I don't think they got far enough to. I
I
think
don't
that
either.
once they went on
They
that
weren't
federal
there long enough.
property, it was a fucking mess.
Uh-huh. And
And
I
then they
think
started getting the quote unquote threats, right? They
Yeah.
got chased away. They were literally chased away.
I agree, Jay. I think that they were chased away too. And I think that Seth had already gotten in JLR's ear.
Seth was the first domino.
And wanted
And
those
everything
cameras
else is
there.
just all the rest of them falling.
Right, but they were chased away due to JLR and Dolly.
Right, but
Right.
who was in JLR and Dolly's ear at the time? Seth.
And
Right,
he
but
was
they
also
but their main issue was that they were told they weren't allowed to live stream. And they didn't
right.
like that.
And I think Seth was the go-between for that.
I
That's what I
think
think.
Seth was the one pushing for the cameras. That was a total photo op.
Right. So
Yeah, but
and they
like
were
one
saying
hand
like
dirty,
no.
one hand clean. Was he telling
Yep.
the Cajun Navy, we don't want these clowns out there videoing? And then was he telling JLR, yeah, we want it out there? We don't know.
I don't
He's
even
a
think they
liar.
need to tell Cajun Navy that. That's the actual professional way to do things. You don't live stream searches.
That
And
is
it-
absolutely true,
Right. So what
Granny.
I'm saying is Seth was probably going along with their policy to them, but then telling JLR, yeah, they're fucking assholes, man. I mean, this dude is a manipulator. He plays
Yeah.
both sides, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Was-
a possibility, but at the end of the day, JLR and Dolly both were just totally upset themselves because they're with their content. And they're like, well, I'm in Tennessee.
Well, yeah,
I
that's
want to
why
make
they were upset.
right. And that's where the threats came from.
I don't think JLR and Dolly were threatening the Cajun Navy.
Dolly absolutely was. He absolutely was. He straight up said, I hope their boat flips over. I hope
Yeah,
they
but they
fucking
were
die.
getting threats like behind the scenes. That's all public,
Right,
right?
but when you're doing that and you're orchestrating an audience of what is JLR at the least, 7,000-8,000 people to agree with you that these guys are frauds, they're fakes, they're taking all this money, they're doing
You
all.
know what I think they
That's going
did?
to lead to threats.
You know what I think they did? I think Dolly doing his public, bashing of them just made it look like, yeah, they could be doing those threats, but I don't think they were. I think they were all set up. I think
think
Seth
Seth
is
was
very
threatening.
calculated, man.
I think
I
so
think it was
too.
Seth too.
I think if
I-
he was
I
doing,
don't.
if he was behind the threats, certainly them saying publicly, these guys are pieces of shit. JLR's on Facebook slamming him, Dolly's slamming him, and he's sitting back with that fucking dubious grin.
Yep.
Duper's delight. Yep.
I
It
mean,
all
that's
fell
all-
into place.
That's all
You-
theory. There's no fact behind that. But the
My
facts
theory. That's
behind
what I
that
think.
is that Dolly and JLR absolutely were threatening them, and that's going to lead to a bunch of people, following the footsteps. Like, oh, they're frauds. They're stealing all this money. They stole that with that guy's footage. What's his name?
I don't
The
know.
searcher.
I think all that is just the domino effect. Once that was all put out there, it was just a fucking mess.
Which I will
Yep.
agree with Granny because I thought, I'm not gonna lie, like I was one of the people who was like, they are frauds. Like I thought that too. I'm not gonna lie.
Right. Right.
They,
Because
they did make a report ish to Nashville where it happened. See, it didn't
And
happen
Mika
in
Munch,
Hendersonville.
I agree. I thought I remember. I don't know where I saw it, but I thought the same thing, that Sean wanted to be on the boat with JLR recording it while they searched. Is what I kind of heard.
Whose boat?
The Cajun Navy.
Cajun Navies.
Shit, they never even got to put their boat in.
But that was like in the talks, whatever.
Oh, I
I
never
don't know.
heard that about the boat.
Something just stuck out with me. What Clue said one day. She said, you don't live to be a 40-something-year-old man and only have a 3 to 5 year work history without being manipulative as hell.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fuck
yeah. I mean, he even manipulated the sheriff's department in his records, right? With the work history.
Yeah. So
To fill in
but I'm-
gaps.
thank you for letting me up again, Granny. I had to hop up about that interview. So y'all have a good day. Thank you.
you as well. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, Rowena.
The
But
United Cajun Army is not the real Cajun Army. They're not affiliated. I know, and that's what JLR came out with, and that's what had a lot of people upset. JLR did, Country Diva.
There's a few different Cajun navies, and I still to this day don't know which ones are actually like which one's the original.
I know.
Still don't know.
Either do I.
Granny,
I
you are
I
right
think I'm
though.
leery of any foundation. You know what I mean? Like, I really am. The more that you see, like, whenever there's something going on, someone starts a fucking foundation. It's like, stop.
I think that's what they're trying to do with this whole homestead. I mean,
Mm-hmm. And that's just his, like he couldn't let go of that name that he came up with in California, right?
right. And they want
Because
to
it
be
had
like
so
the
much
Petito
meaning.
Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
They think they're going to get big and they're going to be politically big and their board members are going to be At Night and Betty and,
But
all the misfits.
I have a wild scenario for you guys to comment on. What if this happens to be a case that here we are, like Trenton Duckett we talked about, right? He was like 2 and now he would be like 20. Like, what if this is a case in like 10 years? Sebastian would be 26. Where do you see all of this going
I
over
don't think it's
time?
going
Like,
anywhere anytime
nowhere,
soon. Mm-mm.
fizzled, and not
It's
talked
going to
about
fizzle
anymore?
because who wants to deal with the type of people these people are? You're going to get fucking injunctions, cease and desist, and lawsuits galore. And you get to a point where it's like, well, why the fuck am I going to, I think a
Right.
lot of
It's
people are
just
done with
wild
it.
how many support them still with all this going on. It blows my mind, really.
Well, they did a good campaign. That's all. They did a really good campaign. But it won't last long because when their litigation falls through, they're gonna have to answer for that.
Right.
When you're 6 months in, there's still no Sebastian. You're gonna have to question the intelligence. It
I
can't.
mean,
It's
when
not
we're
a charade they keep
pre-planning
up long,
vigils, like when we're
right?
pre-planning vigils like 3 months in advance, that's wild to me.
Right.
Do y'all think that if Seth is guilty, that his team knows it?
That if Seth is guilty, his team knows it.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
don't
think they
know.
care. They're making so much money off Sebastian's name, to be honest with you. I think it's all a money grab for a lot of the creators out there. I mean, the ones especially pushing these fake video narratives and these sighting narratives. And can y'all imagine how overworked this case is by law enforcement having to put all these individual officers on every single fake tip the green team manufactures? It literally costs time and resources, and it literally takes it away from actually finding Sebastian.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Hey,
all a
have fun.
distraction.
I think it's just to taint the public's perception. That's all. I think Seth really believes that Chris and Katie does something. And I think that he has found these people that will feed that. They feed it to a dangerous level where Seth is now a danger. He's a fucking liar. He wants so badly to make Chris and Katie look bad that he's making himself look bad. I think he's surrounded by a bunch of people who do not have his best interests. And I think his best interest is getting revenge on Chris and Katie. And I think that's the biggest problem of it all. I think that they are all just out here. And I just think with these YouTubers, I think they just thought it was their big moment. Oh, At Night, a private intelligence group, and I'm going to seek revenge on people I've hated for years, and I'm going to be the only one left able to cover this case. And
I'm still waiting for something intelligent to come out of that group. Just saying. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really taken back by law enforcement's non-response to all of the misinformation. Like, we kind of had this in Summer's case too. The sheriff there never said anything, nothing. And it's maddening. And I don't know if this is just maybe department to department, because we have, sheriffs down here that some are very outspoken, like Grady Judd, and some don't do anything. They never do pressers. So I don't know if it's just like a department to department thing or a Tennessee thing, but I find it just absolutely crazy that they came out to clear this hoodie person, but they're allowing Seth to keep burying himself because his own team makes him look awful. So are they allowing him to bury himself? I don't know.
I mean, yeah, it's a possibility. Plus, I mean, this Nancy Grace thing just happened. For all we know, they may not even, be aware of it to respond to it. Because that's on a level that they should respond. Everything else is just stupid YouTube
Yeah,
shit.
that's on a local level.
Right. as for everything else, like they're actually, unlike Tony and Seth and, At Night and Betty and all, they're actually seeking answers to where Sebastian is. They're not overly involved with YouTube and social media. And, to them, it's probably like these fucking idiots. Like, what, a bunch of idiots chasing their tails, let them do it. We're going to do the grown man work over here. But now you present something like this on Nancy Grace that's going to lead to a lot of phone calls to them coming in, a lot of hate towards Chris and Katie, the possibility of Tate in a jury. And now they have a problem. And I think they should speak. I don't know if they will, but they should.
Peekaboo has a good point. They did, the last press conference we got, they did say not to listen to the rumors on social media.
Yeah, they said less than credible sources, referring to Seth and his team.
Right.
But at what point do they actually, you never tell a
But who's
suspect to
credible?
stop
I mean, is
talking.
Vinny now credible? Or is he not credible? Because he's done some questionable interviews with them too, without, it seems like, doing research,
Yeah, but he never did anything to that level. Like, oh, we got this photo of them. Here it shows Chris and Katie. Like, it was never
No, he's
that
never
level.
gone that extreme. No.
Mm-mm.
One of the best ways to get out of any kind of consequences committing a crime is to convince everyone in the world that someone else is guilty of it before you're ever accused.
Is that the best way?
Yeah. Think
And how
about
the
it.
hell?
If you have a public so divided.
Regina's going to tell us what this whole stream's about now. Go ahead, girl.
No,
that is literally the topic of my stream. I mean, hello, welcome to it.
Right.
I'd like to hear what you have to say, though. Go ahead.
But like, seriously, if you had committed like a murder, okay, and say you knew that you had or you'd kidnapped someone or something like that, say you'd done one of these things, and the last person that the public knows was with the person that ended up dead or missing or whatever, just so happened to be someone that you could say did all these horrible things, and like back it up with like the whole spanking him with a belt. You know what I'm saying? That automatically turned us all against Chris Proudfoot.
No, not me.
Well, it did me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, my son is autistic, so I had a real problem with whipping an autistic child with a belt.
He wasn't diagnosed autistic at the time he was whipped, but yeah,
Well,
I do get what you're saying. I understand the sentiments, but I mean, yeah, that's the entire point of the stream. If you make them look so bad and yourself so innocent, then when and if he is ever arrested, he has the majority on his side. And if he's never arrested and they are, the majority finds them guilty already. That's what they're working on, social media and the public's perception.
Absolutely. And it's so different like than what you see in these other cases, especially cases we know, eventually what happened to the child. And I'll just use Audrey Cunningham's mother for an example. Whenever the grandmother accused her of kidnapping Audrey, what'd the mom say? Y'all just come on in, search everything you got, do what you got to do. Y'all can dig into me all you want to, but in the meantime, could y'all please find my daughter? Like that's all she cared about. She didn't go on YouTube channels and different, television networks and stuff.
Well, I mean, they did find her rather quickly. Not a lot of time went by between when she went missing and when her body was found. So there wasn't a whole lot of time for all that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But she did an interview before they found her, and she was like, y'all just do what you got to do and look at me all you want to, but just could y'all find my daughter while you do it? Could y'all keep looking for her while you're looking into me too? You know what I'm saying? Like that's almost what I would expect out of myself as a parent. If my child went missing and I knew that I had nothing to do with it, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care what people said about me on social media. I wouldn't care what people thought about me or thought I was involved or who accused me of what. I wouldn't be on here defending myself. I'd be out there looking for my kid. I'd be trying to get as many people involved looking for my kid. I wouldn't be sending cease and desist letters. I wouldn't be having this enterprise of criminals working for me, trying to push a narrative of hate. And not only that, but what kind of parent that wants their kid to come home is going to get on national TV and say, oh, and by the way, your other parent never even loved you? What kid wants to come home to that?
I agree.
I mean, but at what point did we recognize the possibility of Sebastian even being alive?
I was going to ask you that, Granny.
Like,
What do
I
you
mean, I'm
think this-
sorry, but people do just keep saying that. Like, when Sebastian comes home, when he comes home, when he comes home, the likeliness of Sebastian coming home dwindles every month that goes by.
What do you think happened, Granny, to Sebastian? Do you mind saying?
I can't say. I just
I
can't.
agree. I understand.
I just hope one day the public knows and we can get answers. That's
I
all.
find it interesting that Nick Barris and others, especially when he talked to the Davidson County Sheriff, they brought up the Joe Clyde Daniels case. I thought that was interesting. Like the cases that have been compared to have not been happy endings, if you will.
Right. Well, I mean, think about
I mean, go back and listen to Nick Barris and the sheriff of Davidson County on day 2, 3. They're talking about recovery. They're not
Yeah.
even talking about a missing kid. It's weird.
Well, if you look at the weather and you look at the fact that he supposedly left in, bare minimum, no shoes, no phone,
coat.
nothing, hasn't been seen. I mean, statistically, he's likely, unfortunately, deceased. I don't know. If I knew high case that the case would be solved. I don't know. Hey, Migsy.
I mean, that's like the outlier, theory that he somehow, survived and he's out
Right.
there.
Like, I think everybody just wants to believe that he's out. And there's a chance. I mean, there's a chance he's being hidden by a loved one. There's a chance he's very close nearby. And there's a chance that he ran away and he got a few states away or, and he's being taken care of. But the likelihood of any of that is so slim. And I just feel like people, keep the faith alive. Of course, keep your eyes open and, anything's possible. But
you have to be a realist too.
Right.
Okay, the other day, let me ask you this, Granny. The other day on Truth's panel, he said something that was kind of interesting to me a little bit. He said, "Could it be, we've heard some things about Sebastian that we shouldn't have never heard, but we did by his own father saying things like Chris's mother said that he was a pedo and all kind of crazy shit like that. Could it be that this kid was going through something
We
that
can't
nobody?
we can't talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I can't talk about that. That's just opening a doorway for them to all fucking cry and scream and, Granny's saying this about a victim, about a child. I know where you were going, but it just can't be a topic here, unfortunately.
It's ridiculous that they try to blame you for their own fucking words.
I mean, Seth said it. Nobody else said it but Seth. And it's unfortunate it's out there, but it's out there, and we can't pretend not to hear what we heard because it hurts some feelings. But
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts. That's why I said, like, we play his own words, and there's still people that refuse to hear it. It's wild to me.
It's infuriating, is what it is. And then not only play his own words, but play the entire scene. And it's like people just choose to ignore what's right in front of them. But, again, is that blissful ignorance? Is it the confirmational bias?
Not wanting to be wrong. A lot of people can't admit they were wrong, or, they've gone so deep about, their beliefs of what happened that they feel like they can't be like a hypocrite. It's weird, man.
Well, and then when you get people that are in bed with the fucking parents, they can't ever switch their narrative either because they're now tied to this one alliance or the other. You know what I mean? And it's also, I love when people say to me, "Oh, what are you going to do when it comes out the Proudfoots are guilty?" The same thing as everybody else. The fuck you mean? I never said they were innocent. Never.
Yeah,
I never said they were guilty or innocent.
I've had people say that to me too, and it's like, wow, I'm not carrying a torch for anyone. I just want to know what happened to Sebastian.
Right. I just happen to think that Seth is a pretty shitty person, in my opinion.
He's shown us a lot more.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's what I tried saying this way before. Like, people, I've said this a million times. I don't like the way Chris treated Sebastian either. I don't like it. I've heard all the horror stories. I heard all the things. I feel the same way as many of people. But it's not enough for me to say that they're guilty. Just like despite all these things I hear about Seth, I still never said he was guilty because it's not there. We don't know. It's not that simple. But at the end of the day, to have this like, oh, what are you going to do when you find out? I'm going to fucking pray for Sebastian. What are you going to do? Say, haha, told you so? You're going to fucking celebrate the same way you all celebrate the idea of there being 5 CPS records? I mean, these
Right. And
people
they
are
want them
fucking
out
gross.
there too. They want to know what's in them too. So bad. Like, I just don't understand why anybody wants that personal info to be put out about this kid. Like, you say you care about him, and oh, if he comes home, like, you know, we're gonna have a party. Like, you really think this kid's gonna want to hang out with any of these people?
Fucking weirdos. I wouldn't allow any of these people around my kids. Honest to God, not a single one of them. Maybe
gross, man.
I'll
With the
just
way
stop.
they
Reports are
behave.
private for a reason across the board. You shouldn't want to know that shit. It's none of your
Well,
damn business.
Well, not only that, but the fact that they literally celebrated it. They were like, "Oh, we told you." I'll never forget.
Yeah,
Brittany's
they
like,
were
"We've been."
excited.
Brittany's like, "I've been ostracized for months now, for months for my support of Seth." But did you hear that? There's 5 CPS, and then like right back into her woe is me. And it's like you just literally compared your pathetic little internet hurt feelings to the real life abuse of a child. Where the fuck is your
Right.
priority? Like, where is
their
your morals?
their mind went automatically to that those were actual abuse instead of being unfounded, right? Like,
Right.
instead
Or
of using their common sense, like, oh, Chris had his daughter over the summer. Those must have been maybe unfounded, or something was resolved with that, because if it was current, he wouldn't have got her. Like, they don't use common sense.
Oh,
They
and they
go
go
to
more.
the instant, like, worst case scenario. It's wild.
Well, they use it to validate themselves
Right.
instead of the reality of what it is, which is horrific. Like, if there were 5 reports of abuse against Sebastian, that is not something to use to bolster yourself and your how right you are in the case.
Yeah.
Like, it just goes to show how much this is not about Sebastian. It's about them, their egos, their views, their
And their
little
pocketbook.
and they're right. And it's not about Sebastian. Nobody would ever celebrate that information coming out with "I told you so." Nobody with a fucking heart.
No, it's gross.
But
No,
then
because
again,
it
if you don't
sticks.
care about your own, do you really think they're going to care about a kid they never fucking met? Let's be honest here. How many of these true crime creators don't have fucking custody of their own kids, but out here pretending to care about them missing?
Bing bong.
Okay.
I
Fucking
don't think
miraculous.
I don't think it's anybody's business to ever look into CPS reports that were claimed and deemed unfounded.
Well, to be
It's
fair,
the
we don't know.
investigator's job to look at those
Right.
reports, and that's
Right.
it. But
And if the
what
fact
she's saying
is-
is she's celebrating that they exist, or they're.
And
That's what
the
Granny's
fact is-
saying. They're
yeah.
celebrating that CPS was even called on Sebastian. Like, it's weird,
If-
man.
if
We
that's
know
the
what
case-
happens when CPS is making a visit, right? They look at your child's body. They check them for bruises. It's humiliating to the child. Yet they're like, oh yeah, there was not 2, there was 5.
Right. Not one of them said it with any empathy for the victim in mind. It was all
At
about
all.
their egos and their, I'm right.
Absolutely.
Well, Coop. Well, they also said Chris and Katie claimed they were cleared in filing with Nina, apparently. Right. So how do you know they weren't, though? Like, don't you think the judge, like, called in? Like, there's a whole fucking child gone. Don't you think the judge checked in with Sumner County to see where they were in this investigation before they handed a defenseless child over to their custody for the summer?
And don't think that the mother of said child wouldn't make sure that happened, right?
Right.
Like, yeah.
Matter of
You're
fact,
in a custody battle since 2017. A whole child goes missing. You're gonna pitch a fit.
it's not like it's a bearded dragon.
Oh my god.
Like,
Right.
I think that what they seem to forget, though, is it's really sickening. Is if there really is 5 CPS reports of abuse, that means that child was absolutely crying out for help and he got none. Does that not make sense to them? What is funny about that?
It could also mean, though, that there is a parent that doesn't live in the household that has a grudge that was encouraging those CPS reports too. I mean, they obviously were unfounded because Sebastian wasn't taken out of the home. And then you got people on the other side that'll say, no, CPS failed Sebastian because they didn't remove him from the Proudfoot's home.
They're
The-
idiots. I mean, if
Yeah.
Well, I mean, CPS does
7
fail a lot of kids. A lot.
That's true.
I mean, they do. But, Jay, your sound just went out.
Jesus.
Now
But
I
do
hear you.
think that their
Let me just turn
perception
you up,
is
Jay. Hold on.
their perception is Chris and Katie's guilty, and there are these reports for abuse, and they're like hurrahing, which is, if what they're thinking is the case, that's not funny. That's sad. That means that you believe CPS failed this kid that many times. Like, what is funny about that?
Right. That's exactly what we were just saying. Bad Brat, thank you so
Nothing.
much for, oh my gosh, 36 months. That's crazy. Jay, don't knock. Just say, can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're too low. Hold on. I'll turn you back up.
Can you hear me now?
Go ahead. Jay's going to come through blasting in just a moment. That's my whole thing, though. Like, you don't celebrate these moments, but we also don't know what those CPS calls were about. We heard both Seth and Chris say that Sebastian used CPS as a way to get his way. They have both said that. So how do we know
Honestly,
Sebastian didn't make these calls?
I honestly think that it could be a mixture of somebody calling just because, and I also think it could be because of behavior problems at school. Maybe, like, you never know. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes the school will call CPS if a kid is acting out.
Yeah, it could be a million different things, to be honest. It didn't need to come to the internet where it was left to nothing but speculation. And I'm not one to speculate on CPS calls when it comes to kids. I just don't think it should have ever been out in the public. It was unnecessary. It was another way to villainize Chris and Katie. Of course, they don't bring up the many times CPS was called against Seth. That's always forgotten about. And at the end of the day, we should all come together in agreement that if there were this many CPS calls, that's so sad for Sebastian. End of.
I agree.
I agree.
And I've never heard Granny try
we
to push
can,
a
Jay.
narrative.
I can hear you, Jay.
Okay, it's working again.
Yeah, you're
I
back.
don't know what's going on with my computer or my connection.
The volume's just really low, but I have
Okay.
you all the way up.
I'm right up on my mic too. It's so weird. I was just saying, like, also with like a custody case that's been going on as long as Chris and Nina's, you do see, calls like that in those cases too. So we just don't know what the origination is.
That's true. Bonnie O just said, I want to see the underground radar. I thought SF did say that he was able to, pretty much seal the deal for that to take place. Did he ever give a date?
Not yet, I don't think.
Yeah, I hope that happens.
Yeah, I do too.
Not that I hope they find anything, but I do hope it happens so it can at least be, taken out. Hey, New Jersey, Robin. They do. Hi, Cast Moms.
What is
Chris
their
and Seth,
story?
is that Sebastian used it to be, he misunderstood. That Sebastian didn't fully understand the situation. And,
Kind of like the story we heard about in California. That he said he got his like ass beat and then
yeah.
he had to show him what a real ass beating was.
Yeah, and he said, learn your verbiage, son. You can get somebody in trouble.
Right.
Yeah, exactly like that.
You
And
know,
that's
do you
pretty
remember
much what
Seth?
Chris said, too.
That he was talking about.
Did we lose her or is that me?
We lost her.
She's going to freak out on her thing. Gave a green bean. Very few people have common sense. Apple bottom jeans, that's the truth. Bless it. Well, I'll just go ahead and wrap it up anyway. My throat hurts. We're all a little sick over here. And this conversation never goes anywhere further than anything good. But I appreciate you ladies coming up.
Thanks,
Thank you for
Granny.
having me.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great
Blessings,
day.
Granny. Bye.
Bye, Regina. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. But I think the main thing that needs to be remembered, don't leave yet, because for one more, for good measure, I want you all to leave out on this and remember think about what you're hearing here, because I find it to be just so damn fitting. I think it's exactly what we're witnessing here. I think that these guys know damn well what they're doing, and it's all made with intent.
Well, my thoughts are that the prosecution engaged in a prosecution of cheat and deceit. They cheated and they engaged in deceit. They hired social media influencers who crafted media statements and narratives of what they wanted the case to be about. It was kept a secret. They used taxpayer money from a slush fund. They received $1 million budget to work this case.
$500,000, $500,000, if you will. But I appreciate all of you. If you haven't, please consider hitting the thumbs up on the way out. I sincerely appreciate all of you that came here today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for chatting. Thank you so much for the memberships, the super chats, the support in general. It means a lot. I'm very thankful, Jay, that you came up. She knows I wasn't really feeling it. I'm trying to push myself through it, or I'll just go isolate until summer begins. So it means a lot that you guys come through, and it's really exciting to see you guys in the chat before the show even starts. It means a lot to me, and I can't thank you all enough for being here. And yeah, thank you to everybody who came up, even Jay for knocking like the damn po-po at the mic. Very much appreciate it. And I don't know if I'll be back on tomorrow, but I will be back on this week. And yeah, I appreciate all of you. Hope everybody has a good day. Stay safe, stay warm, and stay away from the frauds. I mean, what else can you say? These people are without a doubt painting a certain narrative for a reason. And ask yourselves why. Why? Who needs a PR? Who needs a cleanup crew? Who goes onto these shows with these outrageous, non-factual, built-in fiction bullshit when their child's missing? I don't know. I guess we'll find out one day. Thank you so much. I just seen a membership go by. Pine Needle. Thank you so much. All right, my friends. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you out on these streets.